Hey, how you doing, Gareth? Thanks for joining
Hello.
me today.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, everyone.
You're not melting over there, are you? I hope.
Yeah, I certainly am. Um,
Yeah, you have our
yeah,
weather, I guess, because it's not bad at all here. We don't have
yeah.
anyone in yet, but we did have a couple of comments. So let's see. I got my campfire pork and beans, sourdough biscuits, and coffee that's strong enough to float a horseshoe. Good
Nice.
stuff. Thanks, Erico. And then we got Mark Glockensig. Hey, all. Yeehaw.
Awesome.
Yeah, I should have worn my hat for this, I guess. Well,
Yeah, I
we've
haven't got
both
a
been doing June on the Range, so I thought it'd be fun. And I know Gareth's a big film guy, film buff like me, and so I don't really like to cover films too much in my videos, but I'd love to talk about them in my live stream. So I thought I'd ask Gareth if he'd like to join, and luckily he took the time out of his day to do it. Thanks, Gareth. How's your day been going so far?
Yeah, it's been a really lovely day. I've had a chilled few hours, but in the afternoon, I had a gig down the seafront, so that was really nice. Like we got a big bandstand, and it was like an event to celebrate special needs in education, and it was really cool that we did a thing for that.
That is very
So
cool. My son's special needs, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah,
and my
it was
sister's
great to
got
see.
Down syndrome and a few other
That's right.
things. And yeah, it was just a really lovely event, a really nice atmosphere, and my band
And
played
you
really
must have
well.
got a little bit of a sea breeze, hopefully, to kind of make it a little bit better.
A little bit.
You
Yeah,
don't
that
look
helped a
too
bit.
sunburned anyway, so
Yeah, you got to make sure you put your sun cream on, everyone.
yeah, I thought you
For
might want to
everyone.
get a little sunburn just to kind of look the part of a weathered, grizzled Englishman in the Monument Valley area or
Yeah,
something.
just for you. Yeah, yeah.
Just for this, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just we got a few people coming in. Thank you, welcome. We kind of put a more or less top 10 together. Gareth shot me a list of 10 of his films, and Gareth, I'm assuming you have a few kind of also rans or honorable mentions that
Honorable
we could talk
mentions.
about later.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
want to
yeah. We
start
can
with
finish
those, or do you
finish them
want to
off.
do those some of those
Let's
maybe
do
that we
those at
should
the
start
end.
with those and then okay, sounds
I'd
good.
rather, yeah, because we can.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, no, that sounds fine. I don't have Blu-rays of all of your picks, but I do have most of them. So I'm going to show those as well as some posters. So uh,
Awesome.
and I have everything that you have on your list on DVD. I'm pretty sure too, but I don't have my DVD cases because in Japan here, that's just I don't have much room for that stuff, and especially when I would transfer them back to Japan. So I would put them in binders. So I have all my DVDs in binders. So I can just show a DVD itself, but it's not quite as visually appealing. So,
That's good
well, do you
though.
want to? What I wanted to do, Gareth, to start off is I wanted to talk about. I guess I know you're a big film buff and a big science fiction buff, but what's your history with westerns? Did you enjoy them as a kid? Did you come to them later in life? Have you always liked them? What was the first western you can recall seeing? That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because it's a different kind of like an alien culture for us. The fact is that every scene has got a gun in it, and we don't have guns over here, so it's very exotic, right?
Mm.
And when I was a kid, I definitely really got into them, and they were often shown on Sunday afternoons on our TV. So it was especially if I sat in the front room with my stepdad, he was really into that. I mean, he loved like or any Charles Bronson film, and he loved what's his name? The
Good
guy just
dads, good dad.
he's a proper, he was like a
Clint
manly man.
Eastwood and
Yeah. What's the guy that's just died? He was in Missing in Action, and
oh, Chuck Norris.
he loved Chuck Norris films
Yeah.
and Steven Seagal films. He was one of
Oh,
those. So he loved the western, and I didn't like those ones, but I liked the westerns, and I was a huge Kirk Douglas fan, which you'll see as we go on. And I had my favorite actors. There was something really cool about it, and just a bit different about it. So yeah, definitely got into it as I was a kid. Yeah, definitely.
can you recall one of your favorites from your childhood?
Well, it's not mentioned in the list.
Yeah, that's not mentioned in the list. Yeah.
I'll tell
Or
you
that's
what.
not one of your honorable mentions, just one that you watched that with your stepdad, maybe that kind of registered in your memory.
Well, I tell you what. We watched Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza. I like Bonanza. I have 9 seasons of Bonanza on DVD. I can't watch some of them. The one where Lauren Green talks about meeting one of the boys' mothers, and while she tragically dies in childbirth. I can't quite,
Oh God.
handle those anymore. But some of them are
Yeah.
really good. They're really good drama. Some of them, and
Yeah.
a lot of them. My memory was it was everything was a set, and of course the Ponderosa was a set, but there's a lot of them that were filmed out in Lake Tahoe region and stuff. They got some really beautiful outdoor scenery and things. So yeah, I have good memories of watching Bonanza.
Yeah, and I used to watch. There was loads of like spaghetti westerns that had, your typical spaghetti western flavor, but you didn't necessarily. You just sort of watched it. You didn't take in what it was called, And
right, there's a ton of them. Didn't have any name actors that you recognize. They all had fake English names or something.
Yeah. And it was like, and all those like Terrence Hill,
Tony Wood,
ones,
Trinity, the Trinity movies. Yeah. Those are fun.
And I think James Coburn did a few, didn't he? He did a few spaghetti.
He did Duck You Sucker with Sergio Leone, and that's and Rod Steiger playing a Mexican, which is a bit funny.
And I didn't.
Yeah, no, I think Leone is in a class by himself, though. He's an amazing filmmaker. So he didn't make many movies, but I like spaghetti westerns. I like some by some of the other noted directors. They're probably escaping my mind right now, but I like Keoma, for example. Although with what's his name? Really handsome dude that played Django. I can't think of his name right now, but maybe the chat can help me out. I'm having a early morning incipient senior moment, but it's going to come to me later.
I forget all sorts. I can blame it on the heat, can't I? That'd be good.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Mark's a big Westerns book fan. I think movie fan as well. Bonanza was first contact for a lot of us, probably. And True Grit, probably my first movie because I was a Glenn Campbell fan as a young'un. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I like the Wayne movie quite a bit, especially that iconic scene where he, is "Fill your hands, you son of a bitch," and goes riding across with the reins in his teeth. But the Jeff Bridges one is good too. Let's see. We got Brett here. Beast reads, "I've been to the Bonanza set near Lake Tahoe. Nice. I think they even used to have correct me if I'm wrong, Brett, but then they used to have a Ponderosa steakhouse chain in the States for a while. I mean, that it's hard to contemplate how huge that show was at the time. It was like number 1 or 2 for many years with a whopping audience share of like, 40-50% of the audience watching it or something. Just, huge numbers. Yeah. Huge numbers. Well, my background, I can't remember not watching Westerns. I've always liked movie Westerns. It's only a recent decade or so I started reading Western books and enjoying those quite a bit. But for a long time, I didn't, I saw friends reading Louis L'Amour and went, I don't want to read a Western. But I used to always like watching them a lot. So I watched Clint Eastwood movies with my dad on the weekends, and I watched all the TV shows that were being shown, all the old ones being repeated, like Bonanza or The Rifleman or Have Gun Will Travel or whatever. Hi, Constance. How you doing?
Constance. There's also Alas Smith and Jones. I used to watch that. I used to love that. Alas Smith and Jones.
Well, I think you mean Alias Smith and Jones, because Alas Smith and Jones is the Mel Smith one, right? Which was a takeoff on the title. Alas Smith and Jones is good too, though.
It is, that was a big part of my childhood as well. Yeah, Alias Smith and Jones.
Yeah. With was it
and the guy,
Ben Murphy and
the other one, he died really young.
The guy who killed himself, sadly. Dang it.
Yeah.
I'm just having tons of senior moments. I'm gonna have to look those things up here in a moment. But that's actually a really good show. And the guy they replace him with, Roger Smith, I think his name is fine, but you can't replace. Yeah, thank you, Franco Nero. Thank you. How did I space Franco Nero's name? He's he's the good-looking guy that played in Another one I really like is Companeros. Have you seen Companeros?
Yeah.
Thomas Million. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really fun. And of course, the Django and all that. Yeah, I like Franco Nero.
I remember as a kid, I haven't seen this for years, but I remember as we're talking about some of the early stuff and the honorable mention stuff, I remember really loving like things like Five Man Army and
yeah, with Peter Graves. Yeah, and it's got a Japanese samurai guy in there or something too, right? Yeah, that's
they were riffing off the Magnificent Seven thing, weren't they? But
yeah,
I remember liking that. You know,
well, you know that Magnificent.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say the Magnificent Seven kind of scenario. Of course, I guess we should say the Seven Samurai scenario, but it's just
we'll be talking about that here anyway.
It's it's an unkillable kind of plot. It's like you just can't ruin it. It's like the Christmas Carol. It's such a good plot, such a good idea. There's so many versions of it. You know, Battle Beyond the Stars, doing Magnificent Seven in space, and it still works. You know, it still works. Even got Robert Vaughn back to play the same kind of guy again, right?
That's right. So yeah, that's right.
Well, well, we can wax about this at length, but why don't we start with you want to go from reverse order? You want to do that?
Yeah.
That's probably the best way, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you let me cue up let me get some visual aids up here. Whoa, I did it again. Come on now. I'm hitting some, dang it. Okay, never mind. I'm hitting the wrong button. Sorry, Gareth. Rookie mistake here. Let's see. So you want to say what your your 10th one is?
My number 10 is from 1980, and it's directed by Walter Hill, and it's The Long Riders. So The Long Riders is the story of Jesse James, the Jesse James gang, and it's a really kind of a special film because he decided that what he'd do is cast real life brothers to represent different sets of brothers that are in the gang.
Such a good idea.
And it is really good because I think there's something about the chemistry and about the way they all play it so naturally, but there's this sort of ominous feeling of dread running through the whole thing. You just think the whole thing's going to collapse in itself. And you got the Carradine brothers, you've got the two Keach brothers, the two Nicholas Guest, and
we got the Quaid.
Guest.
We got Quaid
Dennis
brothers.
Quaid. Yeah, Dennis Quaid
and Randy Quaid.
Yeah. And it's such a because they're all really good actors as well. So they're they're kind of underused, a lot of them. So
yeah, when I was watching this, I was thinking, man, what happened to James Keach? He's really good, and we never see him much. He didn't seem to have much of a career compared to his brother.
Yeah. And there's a really I don't know if it's iconic's the right word, but certainly a standout scene where it all kind of goes wrong, and it's quite a hectic battle with the horses being shot down and all that. And that's a really cool scene, but it's just this really cool atmosphere in it.
There's quite a bit of like showing their family life or home life and how they're kind of folk heroes to their local, neighbors and kinsmen and stuff. Yeah. I never caught up with this one until recently, but I have the Blu-ray from Kino Lorber, which is just, it's like a 2 or 3 disc set. It's just crammed with stuff. So
wow. That's awesome.
It's got like a 2-hour making of documentary and interviewing a bunch of the cast and stuff. So it's quite a good film. Yeah. And Walter Hill is a good director.
It's a great director. Yeah. Kind of underappreciated now. But
my favorite movie of his is Hard Times with Charles Bronson and James Coburn. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's interesting. yeah, nice one. And another thing that's interesting that I found out, because I didn't know this until I was looking up the date when it came out. I just wanted to double check.
I didn't even know it was as late as 1980. Wow.
Yeah. But also, I had a look at the writing credits, thinking, well, did Walter Hill write it as well? And he didn't. It was written by 3 people, and one of them, Stacy Keach. So I think
that's right. Yeah, Stacy Keach is an interesting guy. Yeah, he's got a bit more talent than just acting. Yeah. It's a good script and very well directed, and it's got that kind of, even though it's 1980, a lot of movies from 1980 in the early couple of years of the 80s still have that 70s vibe, that kind of very realistic. I hesitate to use the word downbeat, although this one is downbeat too, but it's got this just a real lived in kind of feel to the movie.
I think it's got a bit of an independent film kind of feel to it. Yeah, I think that's
when independent film was filmmakers were kind of taking over Hollywood because Hollywood, what they were doing wasn't working. And so they were like, well, I don't know, just throw up our hands and let these young guys take a shot at it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Let-
very cool. Well, we got some you keep talking about it. I'm gonna pull up some comments on there. We got a comment on Red Sun with Charles Bronson. And yes,
yeah,
I
I've seen
have
that one.
seen it and I like it. It's a good movie. Ursula Andress, and the bad guy is oh come on. Another super handsome actor, the famous French guy, Alain Delon. And
Oh yeah,
Toshiro Mifune plays the samurai, and his special sword is stolen. And he and a very chatty Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson usually says like 5 lines in a movie, and in this one, he's talking constantly. It's a very interesting character for him because I guess,
yeah,
well, if I got Toshiro Mifune here, I'm gonna have to talk more than him. So.
yeah. It's true. Yeah,
And Mark saying lots of brothers when it comes to the Long Riders. I think Long Riders has a lot of fans. So
yeah.
it's
Well, I think
one of
probably possibly for yeah,
Western
possibly for
Christmas
real
Carol.
film buffs. I think a lot of people just don't know about it, so I think it is appreciated. I think. But
Yeah, I think it's
that's-
definitely
that's a great-
critically appreciated. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was my first Western. I was in high school in the 90s.
Hi,
Cool.
Chris.
Busted Shelf. I'm not familiar with this.
It's a new channel. New channel. Subscribe to him. You'll love him.
Actually, the name does sound familiar. Well, welcome. Glad we'll check out your channel and let us know how you're doing on it. We're always glad to see people working on the new channels and bringing your own point of view to stuff. How are you saying they were the 70s were gritty? Yes, I am saying that, Constance. I was just a kid, so I'm sure you know,
Yeah.
might remember it better than me, but I think the 70s movies definitely. Yeah. Stacey
I've got-
Keach narrated the Twilight Zone radio show. Yeah, in England.
Yeah,
He did a really good job.
I've got a box set, and I'm going to cover that in my channel once I've done the 80s series and a couple of other things I want to do with the Twilight Zone, because I've already done a deep dive with the original series, and I'm going to do the radio dramas as well because I think it'd be interesting. So
I was
yeah.
excited to see you talking about that with Richard and the others about the 80s Twilight Zone series, because that first season is really good. It starts to go downhill when they move to only half an hour format, but that first hour format,
Yeah, I agree.
where they did all those excellent, the Shadow Man and to see the Invisible Man and all those are great. I watched those live when they were coming out. That would be cool to see you cover that. But that Twilight Zone audio drama is really good, actually. Hey, Goat Man, good to see you. And Mark says, sweet. Maybe in relation to you reviewing all those Twilight Zones. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Did you have any more?
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
As well. No, I was going to say that Stacey Keach narrates it, but each of the episodes has a little cast as well. There's usually 2 actors doing it as well. So I think.
Oh, it's only a 2-hander. Oh, okay. I was thinking they were full cast.
Unless those are the ones credited on the covers. I haven't listened to them yet, so that's one of the things I'm going to be doing. But I'm guessing Stacey Keach does the Rod Serling bits.
Yeah. Well, I think if you think back to the original Twilight Zone, there's quite a few of those that were mostly 2-handers. Once they get down, there are other people in it, but the main people were usually just a couple.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the Long Riders?
No,
good choice.
I'm all good for that. So yeah, I think it's
okay. Yeah, no, that's a great choice. Here, let me get get that off of here, and then I'll pull up my number 10, which I went back and forth on this because, of course, Gareth's the guest, so he gets to choose his list first, and he chose a couple that would have been on my list. So dang it, there I go again, damn it. And which is great though, because I can wax lyrical about them when he brings them up. But my number 10, and it's one that the characters maybe aren't so likable or whatever, but they are. There's no denying this is a very iconic Western, and that is. Let's see if I get it up there. That is the Wild Bunch.
The Wild Bunch. When you said they're not likable characters, I thought he's going to talk about the Wild Bunch.
Yeah, but talk about. I mean, the whole movie is fantastic, especially the expanded edition where they put back in some of the scenes between Robert Ryan and William Holden. But I really like older, late career William Holden. I think he's just fantastic, and he's good as a younger actor too, of course. But he's just got so much gravitas in his weathered face, and he does particularly well in westerns, I think. And Ernest Borgnine. I mean, the cast is amazing, but that last final massacre should go out in a blaze of glory shootout is just unbelievable. It's still really, you know, really
Shocking.
brutal today.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when you watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's just what do we got? Goat Man, I got some westerns yesterday at Bookfest in Brisbane. 3-pack John Wayne, Winds of the Wasteland, McClintock, Blue Steel. Wow, a bunch of his earlier ones. And McClintock, The Wild Bunch, and Hawkins Breed. I'm not familiar with Hawkins Breed. Are you?
No, I don't
Gareth?
know that one. I knew the others, but I didn't know that one.
They made their movies about. They made a movie about my brothers and me. Is that The Wild Bunch?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Well,
that's
I remember
great
seeing.
tagline, isn't it? 9 men
Yeah.
came too late and stayed too long. Brilliant.
Yeah. You know, when I first watched The Wild Bunch, you know, I was thinking, man, I don't like, especially the, you know, I really like these actors now, but you know, they just played. They were such slimy guys. You know, Warren Oates and Ben Johnson, who I both just adore. Those actors, they're so great. And Ben Johnson, of course, was a real cowboy. So, but they played some pretty pretty creepy guys, and they're shooting up that. They're doing that bank hold up, and they kill a bunch of bystanders and things. And you're like, ah. Yeah. But they do have their own creed, and that's something that you can kind of hold on to. But I was just blown away by the action scenes, like especially the one. It's a small thing, but it's just really impressive where they blow the bridge and all the men on their horses just plunge into the water straight down. It's just an incredible effect. That's a real effect, and you just can never beat a real effect. So,
yeah.
And
you get the impression that Sam Peckinpah wouldn't have worried about casualties either when he's filming it.
That is true. That is true. But, you know, he was a complex man, and I have to say I like almost everything he did until some of his late career movies. I mean, even something as kind of slapdash in some ways as The Killer Elite is a really fun movie. And you know, he always got really good performances. Bring Me the Head of Alfreda Garcia. I love
that's good.
Ride the High Country, more of which anon. But yeah, he's just a really interesting director. Did you ever see his very little known TV series, short-lived, called The Westerner with Brian Keith?
No.
It's really good. It came out from
Brian Keith.
Yeah. Brian Keith plays a very realistic cowboy. He's not like a complete white hat sort of guy. He's a normal guy. He's just a cowpoke. And each of the episodes, he wrote, you know, Peckinpah wrote most of them, and he directed a couple of them. And the Timeless Media Group, before they went belly up and were bought out by Shout Factory, they put out the DVD set with some you know, did you ever listen to any of the commentaries that Nick Redman did for he got a bunch of Peckinpah scholars, and then most of the Peckinpah movies on Blu-ray and DVD have these 3 scholars who wrote all these great books about Peckinpah, and he and them would talk about the movies, and they did like 2 or 3 commentary tracks on this TV series. So it was really cool to listen to them talk about, and they even have the backdoor pilot for the episode from Zane Grey Theater and all that. So anyway, it's a really special show. It's and Brian Keith is really great in it. He has a dog he calls I think he just calls it Dog or whatever, but it might have a name, I forgot. Anyway, it's a really good show. Yeah. And Peckinpah is a hell of a director, and whatever you can say about his messed up personal life or whatever, but and his various demons and fights with Hollywood and stuff, but he was a maverick filmmaker, and his films are exciting to watch, including this one. So let's see, we got a few comments here.
Cool.
What was that Robert Ryan snowy western? That was great. Yes, that is great, and that is, oh dang it, it's got Burl Ives in it. And Tina Louise, Day of the Outlaw, and that's a terrific western.
I saw that a long time ago.
It's really good. Physical Media does indeed rule. Last 2 pickups were True Blood Season 1 and Warcraft. You know, the Warcraft movie wasn't half bad, although it kind of derailed Duncan Jones' career, unfortunately. But
yeah, because he was doing so well. I mean,
Moon and Source Code. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a. He's done a. Was it Upgrade? He did.
Sorry.
Or was it Mute? Was it Mute? Wasn't it? There's the other one he did that's on Netflix. Mute.
Oh, I haven't seen Mute.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's kind of not had much career momentum, but I guess in Hollywood it's your latest hit that gets you
Yeah, and
going,
people,
unfortunately.
I don't know. It's weird because the people that don't know World of Warcraft wouldn't know what he missed out, and the ones that did know, they weren't happy with the choices he made, wasn't it? So it's a funny one. You can't please
No, you
everyone
can't
with a
please.
film
Yeah,
like that.
I'm surprised he took that gig actually, but it was probably a big studio gig that threw him a lot of money, and he couldn't say no. But
Yeah,
all things considered, because I never played Warcraft, I know bupkis about it, and I enjoyed the movie well enough. I was kind of thinking, well, I think you're wasting your talent on this, but it's not bad.
yeah. Well, I agree. But
All
this
right,
first two films amazing. So if you go with
okay.
number
Well, I
9,
believe your next one. You want to queue up your next one? I think I have it ready to roll.
yep. So
Number
it's
9.
a Howard Hawks film from 1966, El Dorado,
I love this
and
movie.
it's a great. I tell you what, it's a really really good script, written by Lee
Lee
Brackett.
Brackett.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and which is very cool that she wrote it. But I just noticed because I recently rewatched it as well, and I've watched it many times, so I knew what to expect. But I just noticed how tight the script was. That some of the back and forth dialogue was really sharp, and I thought it was really cool. And I think that they all played their parts really well. So Robert Mitchum did a really good job of doing a very subtle sarcasm with his sheriff. He was someone who had cleaned up his act by the time the plot gets going, because obviously at the beginning of the film he's like just wasted drunk and nobody respects him, which is quite cool because he cleans up, but you also get the feeling that he's at risk all the time. So it's played really well. Do you know what I mean? Do you think is he back to normal? Is he okay? Is he fast? And all that. And then James Caan's character, I love James Caan.
Oh,
And
he's great in this movie. Yeah.
yeah, and his character is just really random that you don't know what he's going to do next, and
Yeah.
what part he's going to play.
He's bringing that kind of new gun, kind of new not method. He's not method exactly, but he's bringing that kind of new actor buzz to the project there.
Yeah. And obviously John Wayne's character, he gets shot at the beginning in his back,
and he's not sure what it's gonna paralyze him. Yeah,
and he gets these, and that becomes part of the plot because he gets paralyzed a few times when he really shouldn't. That's not advantageous to be paralyzed at that point, and that's done really well as well, because it's also, even though it's clearly done to help the plot, it still doesn't feel contrived. It feels like quite natural, and it's a really good ending. I just think it's really well done. So
I think who I think runs away with that movie is Christopher George. He is so good as the principal bad guy. I like Christopher George. I always have, from the Rat Patrol and Day of the Animals and all that, but he's never had as good a part as this. And he's just perfect in this movie. He's so good.
Yeah. Because while I was watching it again, I looked him up, and he's done tons and tons of TV, but he didn't seem to get that big a roles.
He got some movies, but yeah, he was liked. He's in some kind of exploitation and horror movies and stuff. He's in Grizzly, of course, the Jaws knockoff. With another couple of really good guys, Richard Jekyll and what's the other guy who just passed away a little while ago? Andrew, I can't think of his name. Anyway, I really like El Dorado. There's always the debate between, is it better than Rio Bravo or is Rio Bravo better than it? And I like them both. I think I think the stories are similar, but they're quite, everyone says, oh, it's the same story done again. Well, not exactly. There's a lot of differences in it, and it's got a great cast and really, really good support between the leads and kind of interaction and everything. And like you say, a really tight script. And of course, Lee Brackett wrote both Rio Bravo and this, and Rio Lobo, although I don't think Rio Lobo is anywhere near as good. It's fun, but that's because there's no one in the cast other than Jack Elam who can even go toe to toe with Wayne, and that's the only guy. And you can tell when Jack Elam comes into the movie and Rio Lobo, John Wayne perks up. He's like, I got somebody I can act with now.
I think that Dean Martin's performance in Rio Bravo is not quite as effective as Robert Mitchum's, just because there's a sense with Robert Mitchum that it's sort of falling off him a bit, whereas with Dean Martin, it's kind of performed more. Do you know what I mean? So
I
I
guess,
think,
there's you can't compare those two actors. I guess Dean Martin is very good in Rio Bravo, and he
I
worked
think
very
he's good.
hard.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, he's no Robert Mitchum. I mean, as far as
yeah,
Robert Mitchum by this point had been acting for 20 some years, and so had Martin, but Martin had mostly done light stuff before this. So I think
yeah,
Martin works really hard, but I think I know what you mean, that maybe you can see him working a little bit more than maybe
yeah. It's more
Mitchum. Just
natural.
Mitchum
Yeah, Mitchell.
never looks like he's working
Yeah,
hard to do anything, even though he
yeah,
probably is, but he doesn't look it. Yeah, I
yeah,
think the story of I think Dean Martin's character in Rio Bravo is more poignant. I think that I get a feeling that he really looks like he's been put through the ringer. Where to me, Robert Mitchum seems like he's acting. Not that he's acting. No, he's very natural, but it doesn't seem so bad off when he's drunk compared to Dean Martin and when he recovers much more quickly. I think in that movie, and I think
Well,
that's just
Mitchum
script.
does.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, that's true.
it
That's
takes
true.
a long time to make. Are we to even be sure that Dean Martin's not going to relapse? So I just think that the tones are different for sure. I think El Dorado's got a tougher edge to the violence, which makes it more effective too. I think there's some really good, the scenes where they've backshot somebody, I think, and Wayne says, "What makes you think makes them go out the door?" The two bad guys go out the door to be shot by their
Yeah,
ambushing
yeah, 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 yeah. That's good. That's good.
compadres and
That bit.
stuff, and it's just
Yeah,
really
yeah,
ruthless. He's a little more ruthless than he is as the sheriff
yeah,
in Rio Bravo. But yeah, it's a great film. I love this film.
yeah.
It's got those wonderful opening Remington paintings, I think it is, or there's some famous, maybe they're not Remington, but there's some famous Western artist that does all
When the
the
in the opening
yeah,
credits.
opening credits. Yeah.
Then that's an example. There's a few on my list. I think there's certainly at least two where it start the classic opening credits where it starts with a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
I do too. Some people think they're cheesy these days, I'm sure, especially the Dmitry Tiomkin stuff or okay, corral, but
Yeah,
they're really, I think they're great. I love those
yeah,
things.
yeah,
And Dean Martin sings Rio Bravo. I
yeah.
don't think El Dorado has a song though, does it? I think it just
Yeah, it is.
maybe
It's a
no, it
song.
does. It does.
Yeah, it does have
Yeah,
a song.
you're right. I
I
forgot
can't
who
remember
sings it. Is it Frankie Lane singing that one too?
It might be Frankie Lane, and just for June on the Range, I watched Man Without a Star as well, which is not
Oh,
on
with
my
Kirk
list.
Douglas. Great
With Kirk
flick.
Douglas, yeah, and that
Got over
starts
here
with Frankie
somewhere.
Lane song as well.
I love Frankie Lane, Rawhide, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of a good TV show. Okay, we have a few comments here. Let's see. Hawkins Breed starts. Peter Fonda. Okay. Bill Thurman, Serene Hedden, and Jack Elam, directed by Charles Pierce. Okay. That does sound familiar now a little bit. I don't think I've seen it, but I think I might have heard about it. Thank you, Goat Man. Let's see. Looked it up. Day of the Outlaw. Good flick. Yeah, I think I did pull out the title out of the recesses of my dim brain there, Mark. But yeah, it's a really,
you got it.
really good movie. Yeah, okay.
Oh, we saw that one.
We got that one, but Christopher, hello, Christopher. Also, two others were Once Upon a Time, Season 1, and Underworld Blood Wars. Are those things that Duncan Jones worked on? Was that in relation to Duncan Jones?
No, it's not. Once Upon a Time, I think season 1's really good, and then I think it just starts.
That's the fairy tale one, right?
Yeah. I think.
That goes off the rails pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Underworld series, I want to rewatch those. Actually, they felt a bit messy to me, but I like.
Yeah, I didn't. Them. The first one was okay, but I didn't know that we needed several sequels. But I do like looking at Kate Beckinsale in leather, so that's okay with me.
That's the big draw.
That's the draw for me. El Dorado, Rio Bravo, and Rio Lobo, all the same movie. I love all three. Yeah, they basically are all the same movie if you look at the plot on paper, but they're all quite different in feel, I think. And yeah,
there's going to be a lot of similarities with a lot of westerns,
Oh yeah, but everyone kind of thinks. I think too many people who don't follow westerns don't realize how just rugged that format is, and you can do any kind of movie. You can do Shakespearean drama, you can do comedy, you can do a mystery, you can do any kind of storyline or genres can be played out in the Western setting, and it's really a malleable and strong genre. And it's too bad it's kind of faded into obscurity in a lot of ways. Angie
Well, a lot of
Dickinson and
the
Rio Bravo. Yeah, yowza is right. The $1 Million Insured Legs. Yes, and she shows them off there. She's lovely in that movie.
I was going to say a lot of the things they put in westerns, they now put them in science fiction films.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And there's plenty of science fiction films like Outland, which is basically High Noon in space. Was it on Io, one of the Jupiter's moons?
Yeah.
I like that movie too.
No, that's a great film. Yeah, Peter Hyams, isn't it? Is it Peter Hyams?
That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of the underrated Peter Hyams. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. Evening chums. We got Sephiros here. Hey, Sephiros.
Hi, Sephiros.
Good to see you. And we got MC here. Wasn't George in Chisholm also? George is in Chisholm as a kind of crazy sheriff or marshal that's evil that they hire. And he's okay. He's a little more, he's good. He's always good, but he's a little more one note. I really like his Cole character in El Dorado, where he's got that scar in his eye. So they gave him this kind of weird, unsettling eye. But I just love when James Caan comes in to confront the guy, and it's his own man, but he's like, yeah, it shouldn't have taken 3 of you to do it. And he wants to see what this kid at the knife's going to do. And he's got a principle about it, himself. It's really cool.
Yeah, there's no predictability about the character, isn't there?
Let's see. Dean Martin and the Duke worked so well. Yes, they did. Yeah, but I think, if anyone has any kind of charisma, the Duke will work well with him. A lot of people said that John Wayne, he gets a lot of stick these days, but John Wayne was the best reactor in the business. He doesn't do much, it seems like, but it's very effective. And Kirk Douglas, he always talked about, he made several films, including The War Wagon with Wayne. And there's a fun interview with Kirk Douglas on Dick Cavett show, where he says he was the most professional actor I ever worked with. He was the first person on the set. He was the last person to leave. He knew everyone's lines. He knew everyone's, job. He was just wonderful to work with. So, a lot of people kind of poo-poo him really without realizing just how good he was. The only Western I own is Quick and the Dead. Now, is that the Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone and Gene Hackman and Leonardo DiCaprio, or is that the Quick and the Dead TV movie with Sam Elliott based off the Louis L'Amour book? That's a good TV movie. I'm guessing it's Sharon Stone.
Yeah, I wanted to rewatch that because I remember loving it when it came out, and I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, and that appeared on the TV again, so I've got that to watch.
That's really fun. The whole thing with the he's looking at the shadow with the hole in it, and it is a little bit of fantasy elements put in there. Russell Crowe, that's early Russell Crowe being a badass.
Yeah, so it is. Cool. Yeah.
So hello, Greg. How you doing? Have you ever heard of the record Robert Mitchum did? I have heard of it. Excuse me. Apparently he was a very talented mimic, and he does like calypso songs and stuff.
All right.
I'd like to have that record. I don't really collect records, but I have a fantastic a guy named Lee Server did a biography, I should say, of Robert Mitchum called Baby I Don't Care, and that's a great read. What a life that guy had. Robert Mitchum, he was something else. Were any of the Elvis Presley Western films any good? Charo is pretty good. I think there's another one, Flaming Star. I can't remember if it's which one is Flaming Star or Charo that I like. He made a couple, and one of them was serious and pretty good. He didn't even sing in it.
Well, I've watched several Elvis films, and the only one that actually genuinely impressed me was King Creole. I think that's a great film. But
I like, most of them are just piffles, but they're fun. I like Viva Las Vegas a lot, but that's a lot of it to do with Anne Margaret. Wow. Force of nature there. But and then we have Sephiros, who's barely watched any Westerns at all. I guess it's not his style, which is fair enough. A lot of people don't like Westerns, especially I notice a lot of younger generation people don't seem to care for Westerns. And if they do, they're spaghetti Westerns. I do love Dean Martin's rendition of My Rifle, My Pony, and Me. Yeah, that's wonderful. The Rio Bravo theme song in there. Or no, it's not the theme song. I guess he sings it in there, but yeah. And Ricky Nelson being pretty effective in that movie as Colorado. Let's see. We got you guys are getting me fired up for Westerns. I never paid much attention to them. Yeah, They're really a lot. It's a really enjoyable genre. There's so many good movies in the Western field for sure. Okay, I'm getting way behind on the comments here. Hold
It's a
on.
very. I think they're very. Even though I do think a lot of them are quite bleak in the plot, I do think they are feel good movies. Weirdly, because
Yeah,
there's something about the soundtrack that gets written from the score and the way it's played. It's very laid back. I think that's probably what it is. There's not that many that have this tension. Sometimes there is, but there's this sort of like big wide open spaces. Quite often they're like 2.5 hours long, you know, and
right.
you know
You're
it's not
getting
like
kind of an epic delivered to you usually, right? Yeah.
yeah. So that instantly relaxes you a bit. I think that's why they were on Sunday afternoons over here, anyway.
Probably. Yeah. I have to take exception to my friend Sue Park here that I think The War Wagon is a good movie, not a bad movie, but it's also a fave. It's, you know, if it stars John Wayne, most of the time I'm going to probably like it. So what can I say? Bone Tomahawk is good. Yes. We'll be getting to that one as
we
a
will be getting to that
spoiler.
one.
Here we go. Sorry, I've got some problems with my screen here. For opening songs, it's tough to beat Tex Ritter and Do Not Forsake Me, Oh My Darling. Oh yeah, it's Tex Ritter that sings that. That's right. I think that's Dmitri Tiomkin wrote it, but Tex Ritter sings it. Yeah.
What film does that begin?
That's High Noon.
Oh, is that in High
Do
Noon?
not
Okay.
forsake me, oh my darling. Yeah, it's a little overused in that movie, but I guess you could say the same for the OK Corral song too. But yeah, it's
that
effective.
comes back a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he changes the lyrics a little bit. I guess they do in Do Not Forsake Me too. Oh my darling. Yeah. My Darling Clementine, yeah, is another really good John Ford movie with Henry Fonda and Victor Mature. Yeah, okay, the Sharon Stone one. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a fun movie. I need to see that again. I think Sharon Stone is okay in it, but everyone else is just doing fun work.
well, I was going to say I think she's an underrated actress because she became mega famous for crossing her legs. But
yeah, or uncrossing her legs.
yeah. But she's a very
no, I think she's a good actress, but she kind of does the crazy eye thing a little too much, and I think she can coast on that. But she has other movies where she's really good.
Oh, she's incredible in Casino. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's right. She is really good in Casino. Yeah, that's right. She's talking about a miserable film. Ugh,
yeah,
creepy.
But yeah, and they do a lot with her character in that as well. So I think she probably likes to have more to do as well.
Yeah, that's probably one of her best roles ever. She was given some really juicy stuff to do in that. The meek ain't in here. I'm guessing that's a famous line that I'm not remembering. Thoughts on the Yellowstone shows? I haven't watched the full show, but I've seen the full series. But what I've seen, I like a lot. I like Taylor Sheridan's writing a lot. I thought he did Wind River, which was just a fantastic movie, and he also did another really good movie, Hell or High Water, I think it's called, with Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges and Ben Foster. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen
Gareth?
that one. No.
Both of those are really good movies. Yeah, he's got that kind of Western vibe for modern day Westerns really well. The meek are inheriting nothing west of the Mississippi. Okay. Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing. Okay, well, I guess that's as close as Seth gets to Westerns.
Red Dead Redemption 2 features in my June on the Range video.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
cool.
So I talk about a few stories, a couple of novels, I think, and then there's a bit where there's literally a scene of me playing Red Dead Redemption and then a little bit of a cutaway as well. I had to include it. I love Red Dead Redemption.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. I know Jim at Mystery Mayhem talks about it a lot.
Yeah, last year, me and Jim did a live stream about Red Dead Redemption. So that was pretty cool.
Well, my lower list had a whole bunch that I was going back and forth on, but this one has really grown in my estimation since I've seen it. So my number 9 is this one, Bite the Bullet. Now, you might say this is technically not a full-on Western because it's set, I think, there's cars and motorbikes in it, and it's set maybe in the early teens of the 20th century, but it's about a epic 600-mile horse race. Gene Hackman is wonderful in it. James Coburn is great. They have wonderful chemistry. It's got Ben Johnson, Jan Michael Vincent actually doing a really good performance as a young punk, very believable. And Candice Bergen, young, beautiful Candice Bergen is very good in it. It's just a kind of adventure movie about a bunch of principled people who kind of become, kind of friends and allies as they go through this race. It's really, really good, and it's beautifully filmed. I love Richard Brooks, especially his westerns. He wrote the script. He's an excellent film writer as well. And have you seen this one, Gareth?
I don't know it. I don't think I've seen it. I mean, the trouble is, when I was a kid, I watched tons and didn't know what they were, but I don't remember that one. But it has got.
I think it's 1975, so it's right smack in the 70s.
Yeah.
After the Western was kind of on its last legs, pretty much. It's a wonderful film. I really recommend it. It's beautiful to look at too. There's Twilight Time put out a wonderful looking Blu-ray, which I've been neglecting to show some of I think I forgot to show here. Let me get rid of this.
I mean, I'll tell you what. If I was a kid when it came out and James Coburn was on TV, I would watch it. So
yeah,
I probably watched loads of James Coburn films without knowing what they were. Because I was so young.
Let's see here. I have the Twilight Time Blu-ray right here, which sold out. And luckily, there was a guy on a forum I was on, the home theater forum, who wanted to sell some movies, including another one that'll be on my list. And I got this sucker. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And I neglected to show for you. I have the Japanese Blu-ray of El Dorado,
nice.
which looks amazing. So I think some people have complained about the transfer being waxy. I don't think so.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think it looks great. Okay. I got some comments here. I got Sephiros. Okay, we got one from Constance. Thank you, Constance. Western horror seems like a genre that should be thriving. Yeah, you would think so. There's some good ones. Did you see Ravenous ever, Gareth?
Yeah.
With Guy Pearce, and I forgot the other actor in that. That's quite good.
Yeah.
And there's something called, is it The Burrowers or something, about some monsters coming from underneath? There's some interesting ones.
I mean,
Firefly count as a Western? Why? Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love it so much.
But that's one of the examples I was talking about how science fiction has taken a lot of Western tropes, and adapted them into science fiction.
I hope 7 Men From Now is on someone's list. It almost made my list, Mark, but I have another one that you'll probably appreciate, another Bud Bedecker, Randolph Scott Western that's on my list. I love 7 Men From Now, though. I don't have it on Blu-ray, sadly, because it's not been released on Blu-ray because it's a Batjack production and somebody needs to get off their duff and release that. That's a wonderful film.
Can I ask a question about Western horror?
With Lee Marvin. What was that? Sorry, Gareth?
So Constance just said about Western horror. Would you class something like Hills Have Eyes as Western horror?
Not exactly. I mean, if they had, isn't one of the sequels set in the Old West though?
I
thought there was, but no, I think I would just classify that as horror set in the West, I guess. Myself, I think it has to have, some kind of. It has to be set in that kind of time period. I think myself. I mean, it's a sorry, it's a debatable thing, like a series like Longmire, which is basically a modern Western, or even Justified with Timothy Oliphant. Those are Westerns, crime shows, I guess. So they're, I mean, but I don't think there's.
But they'd be like Western.
Does it have the feel of a Western to you at all? What makes you suggest it?
Well, it's only because there are, like you said, we are going to talk about a film that is literally a Western horror that is set in the Old West. But I was just kind of thinking. I was just thinking aloud, really, and whether that the fact that it's literally set in the middle of nowhere and you haven't got a big town nearby and all that, whether that's one of the atmospheric.
I guess it's in the eye of the beholder, maybe. I don't have a problem if you wanted to consider it one. I personally wouldn't. I guess it doesn't. Whereas the other one on your list is very obviously one, right? So
the one, that is definitely. But no, I
think it has to be some kind of, lawman walking around with a cowboy hat, or some kind of character that would make it seem like it was some kind of cowboy aspect for Hills Have Eyes, but. It is a thin line, so it's sometimes hard to tell where exactly things go. but that is a creepy movie. No matter how you slice it, though, for sure. I'm a huge fan of Hell or High Water. Yeah, I recommend that one, and Wind River if you get a chance, Gareth. Let's see. MC says John Wayne still leads the top 10 money-making stars poll, which determines the bank ability of movie stars. He was in the top 10 for 25 years. Eastwood is second at 21 years. Yeah, those are the two big guns. And I know John Wayne was offered the Dirty Harry script and turned it down, and then regretted it. So, then he made McHugh, which is basically his Dirty Harry, which is a good movie, but nowhere near as good as Dirty Harry. But yeah, John Wayne, Dirty Harry wouldn't be the icon he was if John Wayne had played him. As much as I love John Wayne, that's got Clint Eastwood written all over it. I mean, you just need that kind of an actor.
I don't think John Wayne would have looked as unhinged.
No,
as Dirty Harry, the character is.
And I don't think he would have been able to register the disgust quite the way, the way that the curled lip. And I love the psycho eyes that the scary psycho stare that Clint Eastwood can give. I love that.
Yeah.
So the earlier quote about the meek won't go to was a Sam Elliott quote from The Quick and the Dead. I forgot Sam Elliott was in Quick. Oh no, his Quick and the Dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's right. The Louis L'Amour adaptation, which is quite good, with Tom Conti and Kim Basinger. Not Kim Basinger, sorry. No. Dang it. No. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Steven Spielberg's wife.
Kate
Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw.
That's it. Thank you. She's in The Quick and the Dead Showtime movie, I think it was. Haven't seen in years, but I loved A Big Hand for the Little Lady. Very suspenseful poker game. Yeah, that's what's her name? That's Paul Newman's wife. John Woodward, I think, is in that.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting movie. Yeah. Have you seen that one where it's mostly just a poker game and you think she's this little ingenue and she's really a card sharper? It's really,
that sounds like something I really like. So
it's good.
For that.
It's good. Yeah. All right. Well, let me get yours next one up here because we'll probably be here for quite long the way we're going.
So we've kind of hinted at this one, haven't we? So this is from 2015.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Sorry, keep going. I'll get it up while you're talking.
So we were talking about Western horror, and this is definitely a horror film. It's an incredibly hardcore, shocking film.
Oof, boy, and, you're not kidding.
If you don't know this film, don't look it up. Don't go in blind. Don't watch a trailer. Bone Tomahawk, absolutely phenomenal film. And the guy that directed it, I was looking into this a bit when I first watched it. And he had to really fight for it to get made. And he saved loads of money up himself and put loads of his own money into it. And
it's Craig S. Zoller, is that his name?
Yeah. And I looked to see what else he'd done. I didn't know anything else he'd done. So I don't know if it's one of those things that it might be that one little spark in his career that people will.
He did a movie with Vince Vaughn in prison that's supposed to be pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it though, but Bone Tomahawk, once you see it, you will never forget it. Let's put it that way.
No, and it's a really interesting cast. Again, lots of character actors. Kurt Russell's clearly the leading man, but you got Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, and Richard Jenkins.
Richard Jenkins is really good.
Richard Jenkins been there, yeah. And I think that's really interesting. But a very simple setup at the beginning, and then just totally goes off the rails.
Yeah, no, it is wild where it goes.
Yeah, and you're like,
but it is honest to God Western though. I mean, the first 45 minutes to 60 minutes or so is a straight up Western with just a little hint of what's to come, and then when we get to the horror element, oh boy. So, wow, my friend and I were watching that. We were going, what the hell? Those were some creepy things going on there.
Yeah. Amazing, absolutely amazing. So just in case you don't know, and this isn't going to spoil anything, but don't go anywhere more than this. A posse is sent out to rescue some women that have been kidnapped. That's all you need to know, and let the film do the rest for you. Yeah,
and there Matthew Fox from Lost plays like kind of a gunslinger, kind of, I guess,
kind of an arrogant gunslinger.
Yeah, kind of an arrogant, quick gun guy, and Richard Jenkins has the Walter Brennan part kind of, and he's great. And Kurt Russell is the local lawman, and we get a little bit of his home life, etc. It's just kind of really well written, really character study mixed in there. It's very good.
Yeah,
it's it's not one that I'll throw on any old time. I have to be in the mood for it, but it's a very good piece of work and unforgettable, really.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it just came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
People start saying, "Have you seen that film?" And then you're like, no,
I don't think it made as much money as they probably would have liked, but I think it gained a lot of big cult following for sure.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, but phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. You
don't get
films like that,
hurrah, so I guess he likes this kind of this movie. Maybe that's why he's saying hurrah.
Well, what's so good about it as well? Because obviously we've just said what's so good about it, but it's just that thing that it's just unique. It's like some of the things.
It's very unique.
The characters and the setting and all that is not unique, but you don't see a film like that very often where it goes, and you see what you see in it. So.
No, it's I think if you had went in completely blind, which I think I knew there was some weird stuff involved, but I didn't know quite what I was going to get. And I think that the blinder you go in, the better your reaction's going to be, I think.
Totally agree. Big Hand is in his top 10.
Okay, hold on. I got to catch up with some stuff here. Let's see. Okay. Have you seen the clip from Rio Bravo where Walter Brennan breaks up Dean Martin when he does an impression of Wayne? The scene is in the movie. Yeah, the clip. Yeah, it's very funny. Big Hand would be in my top 10, Brett says. Hurrah. Let's see. Justified is based on, Raylan Givens novels written by Elmore Leonard. Leonard wrote both great Westerns and great crime novels. Yeah, his Westerns are fantastic. And so it makes sense that Justified was a great crossover. Yeah, and they did his dialogue justice in the show. Bone Tomahawk, crazy. Yes, it is crazy. Javi 81, smart men don't get married. Okay. Is that something to do with the line from one of the movies? I don't know. I don't agree that a movie needs cowboy to be a Western. There are gunslingers and indigenous people and all those films. Yeah, of course. I didn't mean just a cowboy, but some kind of Western element, Constance. I wasn't saying it very well, but I think you're right. But I mean, some, if you had an Indian or a Native American or a miner or a mountain man or any kind of Western character, I think in Hills Have Eyes, like a crazy old prospector running even a little stop and go before they get out to or a gas station or something. But I don't know.
Because when you look up, when you first get given, okay, Gareth, give me your top 10 favorite Westerns. You think, okay, I'm going to have a look at some big lists. You always see The Revenant on the lists, and that's not got what you'd normally find in a Western. But
no, that's a kind of pioneer story, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So
have you seen the Richard Harris version, Man in the Wilderness? Of that story about the glass guy who was mauled by the bear and left abandoned by John Huston in this case, and he comes back to get his revenge. So. It's very different from The Revenant, but anyway, that's go on. That's a good point, Constance. Yeah, no, that I didn't express myself well there at all, which is frequently the case. Favorite John Wayne movie? If you talk about Angel and the Badman, yes, I was just thinking about that this morning, Mark. I love that movie. It's a beautiful movie. Have you seen that? Angel the Bad Man?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
It's just a luminous Gail Russell kind of redeeming. She's a Quaker girl, I think, who falls in love with the John Wayne playing kind of a guy on the wrong side of the law, and he gets kind of changed by her. It's a really good movie. It's it's one of the lines. Okay. Thank you, Javi. Okay. Is that from Javi? Is that from Bone Tomahawk? Maybe that was a Matthew Fox line or something, because Kurt Russell's character no, it's maybe to Patrick Wilson, because his wife is one of the ones that's abducted, right? Yeah. Again, I got to stay away from any spoilers there. Grizzly Adams.
Yeah.
Grizzly Adams. I don't know if I would say good, Erico. I think it's probably pretty poorly acted, other than Denver Pyle, but it's memorable for sure. I have a lot of good memories. I worked in a hotel in Washington State where Dan Haggerty stayed for a while, and he had a whole assortment of animals that he was trying to sneak into his suite. But he had a very beautiful wife, beautiful blonde wife who would run interference for him. Thanks, Jeff. I was just trying to start something like, you provocateur, you, Constance. Yeah. Okay. So that is a line from Bone
Bone
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
Okay. I haven't seen it for quite a while, so I didn't remember the line. Thank you, Javi. John Wayne pulling a bluff with an empty revolver. Great. Yeah. And Angel the Bad Man.
Angel
Yeah, that's
Batman,
right.
yeah.
And good old the guy that he modeled his walk on, Harry Carey Sr. as the sheriff waiting in the wings who ends up blowing the bad guys away. And that, yeah, that's a really good ending to that, because Wayne's on the warpath because he thinks they killed his lovely little lady there. Okay, yeah. Well, Grizzly Adams is fun, there's no doubt. But okay, let me see what my next one is, if I can pull it up here. Any last thoughts on Bone Tomahawk there, Gareth, that you want to?
I would recommend it to anyone that would have the stomach for it, but just don't look it up.
Yes,
Don't
we do
watch
have
the
to
trailer.
emphasize you should not be a queasy sort of person.
Prepare to be shocked.
Yeah, prepare to make sure you've eaten long before you watch the movie. Okay, another Peck and Paw movie. Sorry, I'm having a little problem with my throat this morning. Too much shouting at recalcitrant college students here. Ride the High Country. This is his most. He made an earlier movie with Brian Keith and Maureen O'Hara, which is quite good too. But this one is just a masterpiece, a beautiful elegiac film about kind of the ending of a certain kind of the West, certain kind of person. Joel McRae's Randall Scott's last role. Joel McRae was supposed to be his swan song, but he ended up coming back and making a couple more. Maybe he needed some more money, whereas Randolph Scott apparently had invested well and was filthy rich by this time. But they are terrific. And Randolph Scott plays a little more of an edgy character than he often does. I love Randolph Scott. He's one of those guys that I didn't like immediately. I thought he was wooden, but the more I watch him now, I realize just how good he is. Same with Gary Cooper. And basically, Joel McRae is he's a lawman, and he's hired to take a gold shipment over the hills. And he encounters his old buddy and partner, played by Randolph Scott, who's actually a little more shady and is getting tired of getting little pay for risking his life and is thinking of liberating that gold for himself. And they encounter some really crazy hillbilly guys with we got James Drury, who is on the Virginian. We have LQ Jones, we have Warren Oates, and their father's played by a really terrific character actor called John Anderson. And they encounter a young woman who's going to marry James Drury, but the brothers all get a supposed wedding night pass at her, and she tries to she escapes, and these guys escort her over the mountains, and the other brothers chase them, and there's a big shootout. Anyway, excellent movie, beautifully done. It's Peck and Paw at his most, I don't want to say restrained, but his most traditional, probably. And it's a wonderful film. So have you seen this one, Gareth?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it. It's a very famous phrase, and I know Randolph Scott's kind of career a little bit, but yeah, I haven't seen it.
I recommend it. I recommend it highly. Yeah, I'm sold. Watching Bone Tomahawk on the treadmill tomorrow. On the treadmill. Okay, yeah, check it out, Park. It's really good. You might. It's deliberately paced. It starts off. Some people would say slow. I found it fascinating, but just stick with it. It gets crazy as it goes. So it's very good. Anyway, if anyone has any thoughts on Ride the High Country, yeah, let me get yours queued up. I don't have much to say about that one. It's quite famous, and people can go seek it out. It's very different from The Wild Bunch, although it has some cynicism, some of Peck and Paw's cynicism in it. But especially Joel McRae is just so good in that. He really embodies a underpaid but very very honorable guy. Okay, so next one. So I have it coming up.
I've got lots of 50s ones left, but this is my earliest one out of my list, and it's from 1952, and it's High Noon. So
classic.
I just think it's a beautiful film. I think it's Gary Cooper. You said you didn't really think much of him, but I think he very.
When I was younger, I really like him now. But
right, yeah.
He's one of those guys that seems like, but he doesn't seem like he seems one note. But the more I watch of his films earlier and later, I'm really impressed. So,
Yeah. I think he's carrying the dilemma really well in this film. You know, you sense that he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, and his wife's obviously constantly going, "You don't have to do this," and he's going, "Yeah, but I think
Grace
I do have
Kelly,
to
we
do
should
this."
mention.
Grace Kelly,
Somehow he pulled himself a Grace Kelly. So when everyone in the audience is going, you should go with that the beautiful Mexican bar girl that obviously loves you. Oh, what's her name? She's a great Katie Urado. Yeah, she's great in that.
Yeah, and I love the fact it's in real time as well. So
Mark, never heard of it. Yeah, it's not famous or anything. No.
Yeah, we are going to get some famous ones in there. Yeah, and I just think it's glorious. I mean, I don't get bored by it at all. I've seen it a few times, and it's always, you know, the way it plays out, I think is really good.
Well, it plays out in real time, basically, kind of, right? And that's really and it's really wonderfully directed. Is it Fred Zinnemann that directs that? I think
it is. Yeah, I didn't write it down. I think it is.
Yeah, and it's got that
Lloyd Bridges is in it as well.
Yeah, Lloyd Bridges is in it, and it's just got a. I mean, you watch it and go, "Oh, it's that guy! Oh, it's that guy! Oh, it's that lady!" It's everywhere. It's got a terrific cast and a beautiful, crisp black and white photography. There's been about 14 different Blu-ray editions. I have. Oh, I should show. I had my Ride the High Country here, and I have a friend sent me High Noon. There.
Nice.
Whoa, this is one of the earlier. Earlier Paramount editions, but there's been lots of ones with fancy bells and whistles and such. But yeah, really good film. And you know, Rio Bravo was made in you know, as a response to it, because they, you know, Hawks and Wayne didn't think much of, oh, so this is a job for professionals. He shouldn't be asking regular people to help out. But I think, and of course, there's been a lot of talk about, whoa, how did I make you go away? I'm sorry, that was weird. What am I doing? Sorry, Gareth. I was removing the poster and I moved you. I always do that when I do this thing. I'm sorry. Anyway, I think you probably have heard how everyone.
On. You know, it's not like I've.
Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to hide you for, you know, because you're not wearing your shorts or something. But no, I'm sure you've heard about how this was a reaction to the McCarthyism and all that sort of witch hunt sort of stuff. And you know, you can find that stuff in there if you want to, but it's not really what it's about. I don't think. I think it's just I mean, I guess
it's a classic story anyway. You know, the whole thing about a sheriff having to face the bad men, that's been replayed to death, isn't it? So, you know.
Mark says there's something in the final shoot off that is off. I can't remember what it is now. I have to watch it again. Yeah, that part's the part that, weirdly enough, I never think about the shootout part in High Noon, because it's not really about the action compared to a lot of westerns. It's more the tension, I guess.
Yeah.
People watching spaghetti westerns will go, why does he just shoot him 4 times in a row like Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name and he'd be done with it? But you know, it's trying to be a little more realistic, I guess. Although I love those Clint Eastwood dollars films. But yeah, you know, High Noon is one that I know is a classic. It's great. It's never been a personal favorite. I like it, but it's
it was, I tell you what, it was one of the films that made me take westerns seriously. Yeah.
How so?
Just because I thought it was quite special. So like Greg, yeah.
He has another.
I think it's because it didn't seem so macho. I think that's part of it. So
maybe that's it. Yeah, that's probably why I don't like it as much. But what, he's doubting himself? Come on, that's not what John Wayne would do. But that's what makes it interesting, right? And of course there's the Tin Star with Anthony Perkins and
you're a bigger John Wayne fan than I am as well, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. I know a lot of people don't care for John Wayne, although I think he's a really fine actor. Yeah, Greg says, before I go, I'll mention that my favorite Western TV show is The Wild Wild West. Love The Wild Wild West, followed by The Big Valley. And for films, I absolutely love Silverado. Yeah, Silverado has been one of my honorable mentions, Greg. I love Silverado. That's one of the best modern Westerns for sure. So good.
I was going to watch it again before I did it in case I wanted to include it, because I remember really loving it. But I wanted to watch it again first.
It's really good. It's really fun. Yeah, it's such a good movie. And it's such a love letter to Westerns, you know.
Yeah, that's what I think. And then there's a nice cast, you know, you got Jeff Goldblum and all that. You know.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum playing a slimy bad guy. Yeah, he was having fun with that. Brian Dennehy, a very underrated, wonderful actor who was in all those movies back in the 80s, it seemed like. And that is not necessarily a common or shared opinion. What's that?
Probably about Silverado, I guess.
Or probably about John Wayne. So,
maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. A lot of people don't like Wayne for his politics, which is fair enough, although he was
that's not why I was saying it. I mean, clearly I have got very different politics to John Wayne, but it's more the fact that I think he's one of those people that doesn't do enough. So I'd actually say the same for Morgan Freeman. I think Morgan Freeman's got the most amazing voice, but he doesn't really do anything on the screen. So I think he gets away with a lot because of his voice, and that's possibly the same for John Wayne. I'm not sure, but
you might, if you see more John Wayne films. I mean, if you see a film like which it could have been on my list. One of his Calvary films, the She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, where he plays, he ages himself up and he plays an aging colonel or whatever. He gives a very, nuanced performance in that, and he's in so many good films. But yeah, I think later in his career, if you watch a lot of late career John Wayne films, he's pretty much coasting, other than maybe in The Shootist or something. But he's coasting on his massive.
I like that. I like the Shootist thing. I like that one. The Shootist.
He's got a lot of charisma, and it's easy to coast if you're that kind of actor, I guess. But yeah, I think he when he's challenged, he rises to the occasion for sure. I think what he does looks easy. He's like Robert Mitchum, where you look at Robert Mitchum. Is this guy acting? Is he doing anything? And actually, he's working pretty hard, but he doesn't look like he is. So, but I'm glad that, because people talk about Wayne's politics, and he was a complex guy. He said some stupid stuff, but he married, all of his wives were Hispanic ladies. There's a lot of stories of him being very kind to his Mexican workers when he was filming The Alamo, so he's a man of, he was a complex dude. And I think a lot of people simplify people that are on the opposite side of the political spectrum from them, and they shouldn't do that probably. But I'm glad that your objections to him would be based on his acting. That's better for I think that's fair for sure. Okay, what do we got here? We got a few comments, then we'll get on to this next stuff here. Come on, my mouse is not cooperating with me, or StreamYard is not cooperating with me.
Blame on the mouse.
Yeah, Gary Cooper, Man of the West. Yeah, that's very good. That's a very strange Western too. Have you seen that one?
Man of the West? That one. No,
it's trying to think if that's Anthony Mann. Who did that? I think it's Anthony Mann. Yeah, Jack Lord's in that one, and so is really terrific actor. What's his name? I always forget him. He played the judge on The Virginian. Anyway,
you also I saw loads of westerns when I was a kid with Anthony Quinn in it as well.
Anthony Quinn's a lot of fun.
He was in loads of westerns.
Yeah, he's in a great one with one of your favorite there, Kirk Douglas. Last Train from Gun Hill, another great John Sturges movie.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
And, he played an old colonel. That's John Wayne, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, right? Watch Island in the Sky if you want to see his acting chops. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, Island in the Sky is like a survival film where he's a military pilot, and his plane crash lands with some others in the Alaskan wilderness or in the Yukon or something. That's a good one. I say stupid stuff all the time. Yeah, I think we all do. Yeah, Anthony Mann did it. Yeah. And what do we got here? Have to Run. Best Western show was Firefly. Best movies Unforgiven, with The Searchers a close second. Well, we'll be getting to Unforgiven. And The Searchers is definitely in my runner-up pool. It's a beautiful movie for sure. It's really, really, so many John Ford movies are great. Okay, sorry, we're running long here, folks. Let me get Gareth's next one up. Dang it, I'm still doing the wrong button, Gareth. I tell you.
Is it me next? What was the last one we talked about?
You did Bone Tomahawk and High Noon, so maybe you're right. Maybe it is me. Sorry, maybe it's my sixth pick. Let's see. Okay, yeah, because I did Ride a Hunt Country, you did High Noon, and I'm going to do. It's about time we get some Clint Eastwood in here. And I know you originally had a Fistful of Dollars on your list, Gareth, and that I like that one too. But my favorite of the Dollars trilogy is the middle one. Okay. For a few dollars more, with Lee Van Cleef as a badass Bounty
I nearly
Hunter.
picked that one. I go between the two. I don't, you know, I
Good, the
love the
Bad, the
third one as
Ugly is
well.
amazing.
It
I
is
know that one
amazing.
gets all the love. It's an absolutely amazing, but it is a bit
But
elephantine. It's a little too long, and this
yeah,
one I think feels just the right length. It's long, but it's not
and I prefer
over
Morricone's
long.
music in the first two as well.
Oh,
Uh,
really? Yeah,
yeah,
I Morricone is just a freaking genius. So yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely,
the
absolutely.
theme tune to this is the main theme is amazing. But
Yeah,
I
incredible.
what sets this up, I guess, up for me is that as good as he is as a bad guy, and Ali Van Cleef in The Good and the Bad, the Ugly, I really like him as a good guy in this one. Good, of course, being a relative term, but more or less good.
Yeah,
And his kind of competition and back and forth with Eastwood in this is really fun,
yeah,
and got, as always, the kind of climactic showdown, which is, you can't beat the end of Good and Bad and the Ugly for that three kind of corrida kind of face off. But this one is also really good, and you get the bad guy back from Fistful of Dollars, and he's so good. That guy, he's such a
yeah,
scumbag.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
plays it scumbag so well. But
Slimy git. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I wish I could remember his name. I can never remember his name. He's but I think he's a Italian actor, but he's so good.
Is it Miguel or
Um,
something, or is
oh, I gotta look it up, I guess, so I don't feel too stupid. I have the
Michelle?
Man with No Name set here. That there's been, Kino went out and did some 4K versions, and that are I'm sure much better, but this one they still look great. I think this one had a slight Good and the Bad, the Ugly wasn't quite as good transfer as the other two, but for a few dollars more, looks fantastic in this. So it's got the three films in one set,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was a nice affordable set. So yeah, wonderful movie, a lot of fun. All of Leone's spaghetti westerns are great. I know we have another one coming up on the list that doesn't star Clint Eastwood. That's an amazing piece of work too. And Duck Your Sucker.
and very long, but
Yeah,
pulls it off. I
he
think.
he doesn't do things. I mean, even Fistful of Dollars is 2 hours or so, right?
Yeah,
I think, or close
which
anyway. That one's a
with
remake of Kurosawa's Yojimbo,
Yojimbo.
and
Yeah, have you seen Yojimbo?
yeah, I have, and
Yeah,
Sanjuro, the sequel.
yeah,
They're both
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I have
Amazing
seen them
films.
both. Yeah, I like those a lot, but the Eastwood, if it's the Western, I like even more. So, what do we got here? Yeah, I think we're caught up on the comments. So anyway, everyone knows these Dollars films probably. So, but as much as other people champion people like Sergio Corbucci or some of the other spaghetti Western directors, no one can touch Leone. He's just a visual stylist, and they're just amazing to look at.
And
And
I absolutely love the fact that he used to get Morricone to record the music, and then he'd start directing the film.
I'd probably play the music while they were. Yeah, I've heard some crazy stories. And Eli Wallach tells some fantastic stories about how dangerous some of the filming was. How they were letting off explosions, and Eastwood was warning him you better move because they're going to just throw off some live dynamite right here. Some guerrilla filmmaking over there, but the results are amazing. And Eli Wallach, this Jewish guy from New York, playing Mexicans in that, and in Good, and Bad, and the Ugly, and The Magnificent Seven. But he's so good. He runs away with The Good, and the Bad, the Ugly. He's the star of that movie. He's so good in that movie.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, Eastwood is great, but Eastwood is being Eastwood, so he's always pretty cool about it. Okay, let's see. We got a real classic for your next one. I believe we're up to number 6 now. Is that right, Gareth? Or yeah, number 6.
Yeah. So,
and this one would be in my top 5 as well. So
this is. I don't know if it's because I did shuffle things around.
Oh, I forgot to say, you shuffled the order. Do you not want this one up? What do you want next? Why don't you introduce it?
This is the other Sergio Leone one.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Sorry, I was queuing up something else that from the previous list you gave me. So
yeah.
Okay.
So I think I know what it is. But yeah, we will get to that. So from 1968, the one that we kind of hinted at is the Sergio Leone spaghetti western that's very famous, but not starring Clint Eastwood. The lead part's Charles Bronson, and it's Once Upon a Time in the West.
And it's a beautiful piece of work with an absolutely amazing score. by Morricone.
Yeah, absolutely amazing score, and it is really long. It's really long, and you could argue a slight tad too long, but
Yeah,
it is a very beautiful film, I think, as well. And there is something about the beginning of the West as well, in that sense that they've got, like, the setting of it is really quite epic as well.
and the railroad coming in. Yeah,
Yeah. The whole building of the railroad and the importance of the railroad as well, how it changed America. And it's a revenge story, you know, but also, I mean, I've used it in my teaching when I used to teach music tech and talked about Foley, and I talked about how the absence of music can be really powerful in a film score.
Oh, that opening is
The
amazing.
opening is incredible.
With the creaking of the door and the
and the wind thingy.
And Jack Elam swallowing the fly and not blinking.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The beginning is just sets it up.
It's like a 10-minute opening, and then the train comes by, and then you got Woody Strode and Jack Elam, and I forgot the other guy. Al, I think it's Al. What is his name? He's always playing a bad guy. Al Mulock or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but we got Henry Fonda playing a really hissable bad guy, very enigmatic, and we don't. And I like how he teases out the revenge motive till the very end. We get little teasing all the way through, and you don't really realize till the final showdown what exactly Bronson's up to, because he's protecting the bad guy at some stages of this movie, and you don't know why. What is he up to? It's wild card.
Yeah. But I was going to say, as we were talking about the opening, I can't think of a better opening. I think it's the best start of any film.
It's amazing, with the credits coming along the side, kind of crawling over the side, and and it's just them sitting there, these three bad guys sitting there waiting
for the train.
Waiting for the train in silence, and they're just close up, because no one does close-ups on ugly mugs, beautifully ugly mugs, better than Sergio Leone. You got these close-ups, you got these wide, super 2.551 aspect ratio kind of widescreen, shots of the desert out in the middle of nowhere, and then the train finally pulls up, and you're like, "What's going on?" And then it pulls away, and you hear the harmonica, and there's Charles Bronson. It's so good.
And it's that classic kind of something about you're gonna need 3 horses. No, I just need 2 horses.
Yeah.
Something like that classic kind of,
Yeah, that's my favorite line. I wanted to cut. I think I did. Did I get some of it in? I was trying to get that in one of my Joan on the Range introduction videos, where my mistake, 4 coffins, that sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
And Claudia, we must mention the beautiful Claudia Cardinale. She's just stunning and does a great job in this movie as kind of a key player who's the widow that inherits this property where the railroad's going to go in, I think, is the whole kind of plot behind it.
Yeah.
And she's kind of stuck in the middle between these 3 main guys. We have Jason Robards is kind of the chorus, I guess you could say, of the movie. He's kind of he's an outlaw, but he's a kind of principled outlaw, I guess. Anyway, it's very, very interesting film.
I've got a couple of little facts about it, which I think is interesting. One of the things,
please.
When I was looking it up, I was quite surprised that one of the screenwriters is Dario Argento.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was like, what? But you wonder if, because he's such a stylistic director where the visuals are so important to him, I'm wondering if maybe he had a hand in the beginning, because
I mean, you can't say that Leone isn't a stylish director, though. I mean,
no, absolutely. Sure. But there is something very, I don't know. There's I mean, who knows?
I bet you it could very well he conceived of that opening, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I could see that, because he's definitely got visual flair, that guy.
Yeah,
and at least earlier in his career.
And obviously, Charles Bronson's playing the main part, but apparently, he did offer it to Eastwood, and he didn't want to do any more spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, so I probably really didn't want to do any more westerns filmed in Italy, probably. But they really launched his movie career, though, and he capitalized on it. And I think he also wanted to direct. So he did hang him high pretty shortly thereafter.
James Coburn was offered it as well. but he
Oh.
demanded a load of money, and they didn't want to pay that amount of money. So
Yeah,
they
I
got rid of
love
him.
Coburn, but that's not Coburn's silent guy is not really Coburn's strength. He's the ha 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 holding court, bigger than life sort of guy, I think. Although I
Well,
guess Flint is kind of silent, so yeah.
and he plays quite a silent, enigmatic kind of guy in the Magnificent Seven. He doesn't
That's
say a lot
true.
in
That's
that.
true. Yeah, I shouldn't say he couldn't have done it. He would have been good. He's always good. But I think this Charles Bronson was the right man for the job.
Yeah, I think so as well. Charles
He
Bronson's
also
got
looks
a
a lot
really
more Mexican, I think, than which he's supposed to be his background, right? So
yeah.
he doesn't look Mexican, but he looks more than James Coburn anyway. So
So
anyway,
really good.
That's an amazing film. It is long. You have to kind of sit down and invest some time because it's got action punctuated through it, but it's slow and not in a bad way. It's kind of I guess I use the word deliberate instead of slow when it's the pace is going a certain way, but it's rich. It's a rich feast of a movie, really.
Yeah. It's almost like the conversations are done in real time, whereas most films they have a very economic way of doing dialogue scenes.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. They give the characters pauses when she's trying to figure out all these men. What are their motives? What do they do? What are they doing? What do they want with me, etc. I mean, it's obvious what all of them would like with her to a certain extent, but of course Charles Bronson doesn't do it, even hint at that.
He's not bothered, no.
Of course, he's the one that she's interested in, as usual, with the real beautiful woman. This guy's not interested in me that way. What's going on? Becomes fascinated with him. Okay, we have love the original 310 to Yuma, says Mark, and I like both, really. I think the Russell Crowe version is really good. I think the ending, I just read that story in one of Elmore Leonard's collections, and it's a really good story, but it doesn't really go into the bonding too much between the two, which the movies do very well. And I like both movies a lot.
They added all
that. Of course they had to.
There's not a lot to it,
Another thing that I was reading in that collection was the original story to The Tall T, the Randolph Scott, Richard Boone movie. I didn't know that Elmore Leonard wrote the story first. It's a novelette, and it's really good. Sorry, what were you going to say, Gareth?
No, I was going to say, because we've picked up on a couple of things that I talked about on the June on the Range video. So you should watch my vlog that I did, where I did little bits and put it
I saw
together.
a couple of some of your June on the Range videos, but I don't think I caught up with your vlog. I need to check that out.
Yeah.
I'll do that afterwards.
The short story, because I was going to watch the remake, the new one with Christian Bale in it. That's just
Russell Crowe,
on TV, so I've recorded it to watch.
I have
another one
here
which I'll talk about. I want to try and remember to talk about an honorable mention that's also set to record tomorrow, I think it is, which I want to watch again. So I'll mention that later.
Okay, I'll try to remind you about it too if I can think of it. We got Chadwick here. Welcome, Chad. High Plains Drifter is in one of my runners up. Josie Wales, Pale Rider, Unforgiven. Well, one of those may show up later.
Those top three were on our TV all the time when we were kids.
Oh, High Plains Drifter is an unforgettable piece of work. I love that movie. I like all of those are good. So Once Upon a Time in the West is the film that got me to start enjoying Westerns. Yeah, I think that's one. I know Tim Lucas from Video Watchdog, that was his entry point into the genre too, I think, because it is really an impressive piece of work. And apparently it had a real, it had been cut a lot in the States when it aired. And so most of these days we see usually the full version, but I guess there were lots of different cut versions until the reconstructed version came out. It
was quite unusual for films to be that long, wasn't it, at the time? So
I think so at that time. Yeah. Has anyone seen Dark Valley, another snowy Western filmed in Austria, northern Italy? Dark Valley, I'm not familiar with. How about you, Gareth?
No, I don't know that one.
Okay, we have I need to see The Lawman with Burt Lancaster. Yeah, that's a hard-ass movie. Michael Winner, one of his good movies. Did that one. Shadow's Land, I have that.
Yeah.
I have
that
both
gets
of those.
shown a lot. Yeah.
It's really rough. Yeah. He does not treat anyone kindly in that movie. That's for sure. His revenge is complete in that. Very brutal. And another Michael Winner movie. He didn't do that one. Who did? No, no, I think it's Robert Aldrich did Hosanna's Raid. But one of my favorite, and it's another adaptation of an Elmore Leonard novel. One of my favorite Lancaster movies is Valdez is Coming. I really like that movie.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
Although,
Yeah.
Burt Lancaster as a Mexican with the blue eyes is a little bit of a stretch, but he does a really good job in that movie, and that's a really cool flick. Let's see here. So hold on. I visited where Charles Bronson was born in Pennsylvania, a very small coal town. Yeah. That's why he was driven to get out of that. He didn't want to be part of that situation. Interesting guy, Bronson.
Coming at you.
Yeah, Coming at You. I remember when that came out. I never have seen it, but the Coming at You. I think that was. There's a guy, I forget the actor's name. Maybe it's more. They're more famous in England. There, Gareth. He played kind of a small guy. He's who stars in Coming at You, and it's he's the stranger. I think there's like 3 films where he kind of stalks around and gets beat up, and then at the very end he stalks around and kills all the bad guys. I wish I remember the name of that series. It's a spaghetti western series that this actor was in that played in Coming at You. I always wanted to see the spaghetti. Oh no, I got that one. Sorry. Okay, we have Glock again. Of course, Jimmy Stewart was born in Pennsylvania, as well as Jack Palance, Shane, and City Slickers. Yeah, love both those guys. I really debated. I wanted to get.
Don't forget Hawk the Slayer. Come on.
Of course, Hawk the Slayer. Yeah, that was one of the closest to a real fantasy movie, a book that I've ever seen in movie form at the time. I mean, it's cheesy, but I love that film at the time.
We love that film, despite the cheese.
Yeah, I have it now. John Terry, I think, is the lead, isn't it? Yeah. And a bunch of other comedians playing fun parts. But
Bernard Bresslaw.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Well, the Jimmy Stewart comment made me think I have a lot of Jimmy Stewart westerns I really love, including his Anthony Mann westerns like Bend of the River, Man from Laramie, Winchester 73, and of course my favorite, The Naked Spur. But they didn't quite make my top 10, but I do love those. Sorry, I clicked that one. I visited Jack Palance's hometown as well, another small ex-coal town. My favorite western is Tombstone. Yep, I love Tombstone, especially Val Kilmer, but that's got an amazing cast. That's in the runners up.
Kurt Russell again.
Yep. Okay, well, yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West is a fabulous choice, and I'm glad you got that in there. Let me get to my next one. Okay, which is maybe a kind of a cheat but I do believe it got because it was made for TV, but it got I believe a theatrical airing in Europe, and I think it's just an amazing piece of work, and of course the book is amazing as well, and that is Lonesome Dove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that a series, or is there's a film?
Oh, it was a mini series, but I think it got a theatrical release in Europe, and it was framed for theatrical 16:9. So that's probably kind of a cheat, but I think it's a proper film, and it's amazing piece of work. So, but it is long, it's like 6 hours long or something. So, or maybe yes, I think it's 6. Anyway, I'm going to include it. I don't care. So it's great. And, I think it has career best performances from both Tommy Lee Jones and Robert Duvall. I think they're just. Have you seen this, Gareth?
No, I haven't. I've heard so much about the book, but I haven't seen any.
You haven't read the movie? You haven't read the book yet?
I haven't read the book. No.
I don't think it matters what you do first, because I watched this several times before I read the book, and the book was still amazing. So, and the movie is really faithful to the book. Or the mini series. Yeah, it's just amazing. So I think if you want character westerns, plus, it's a horse a cattle drive going from, is it New Mexico? Do they start in New Mexico and they go all the way up to Montana? And it's got, amazing work from all the cast, Danny Glover's in it, and Angelica Houston and Diane Lane, and Robert Urich gives his best ever performance in it, I think. And you just got tons of great actors in there. Wonderful. Ricky Schroeder, just a fantastic flick. And I mean, movie. And if you're not moved, and this is enough to make a grown man cry several times over. This movie, it's wonderful. So Robert Duvall is in three great late career westerns. He was in Rest in Peace, Robert Duvall, fantastic actor. He was in this. He was in another TV miniseries, which isn't nearly as good, but still good, with Thomas Hayden Church. I can't remember it now, where they're kind of escorting some Chinese supposed brides that they rescue across the prairie there. And he's, of course, in Open Range, which is one of my runners up. I love Open Range, the Kevin Costner film, which has the best gunfight pretty much ever put on screen. Very fantastic end gunfight, in my opinion. I know those are bold words, but anyway, just, not much to say about Lonesome Dove. Read the book, watch it. It's great. And let's get to your next one, Gareth, which I think now are we on the George Stevens one? The one that I was going to share first? No, okay.
That's so number 4.
You want to give me a hint of what's number 5 for you then?
It's directed by Clint Eastwood.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we're in 1992 now, and this was a big deal when it came out because
he hadn't made one for a while, right?
Yeah, and it was a big gap, and westerns weren't massively popular. And I think it's part of the reason why it is the film it is, because it had to kind of have a different take on the usual
kind of revisionist western. And
I just think, and I rewatched it recently to figure out where I wanted to put it as well, and I just think everything about it's just brilliantly done. That the characters are very complex. All of them are really complex, and I just think it's just really, really good.
I
some
agree.
of it's quite subtle as well. Richard.
I just have one beef with the young guy. The young guy. He's supposed to be annoying, but he really drives me up the wall. He's such an annoying character. You just want him to be bitch slapped back and forth. He's so irritating. But yeah, that's the ending of that is really powerful when he goes into his full, Bill Money mode and just starts taking people out.
Yeah,
I think some people criticized it for him going all Clint Eastwood at the end, kind of predictable ending, but I think that's necessary. We need to see what this man was like before.
And I think it kind of redeems the sort of uselessness, if you like, of the beginning when he can't even get on his horse properly and all that. So I think it needs that sort of journey.
We need to see that he is really when he had to get drunk first, but when he goes into action, watch out. Yeah.
But also,
you're right. It's mostly a character piece, and it's really well done.
Yeah. And a bit at the beginning is quite horrible as well. So it sets it up well. And funnily enough,
it shows also kind of how useless revenge is too. I mean, it is. I get kind of sick of every western that comes out now has to be a revisionist western, kind of undermining the genre a bit. But I think this is if you're going to do it, this is the way to do it. This one earns what it does, I think, very much.
The same week that I watched that as a rewatch, I watched for the first time the one called Hanny Calder.
With Raquel Welch.
Yeah, and that's a really ugly film. As in, every character in that is horrible. And there are like
you got Christopher Lee as an English gunsmith. He's cool. But I have a beef with that film. I think the way that her mentor and I guess eventual lover Robert Culp, who I love, Robert Culp, fantastic actor, but the way he goes out is really lame. I really think that's lame. So a little pocket knife thrown at him, and but yeah, I think that's a really interesting movie, though. Hanny Calder. Yeah, that's an interesting 1-2 punch of scumbags on screen that you're. Gene Hackman is so good because he's layered. He's brutal, but he's trying to build this house, and his house is all slipshod. Though he's not a good carpenter. He's got these human touches that Hackman was so good at always bringing into his characters, even the bad guys, that he's a monster in a way, but he's a human monster, He's just
what's
really
interesting about it? What makes him a monster in that film is his complete indifference. That's what's interesting about it. I was watching the film thinking this is quite an unusual film because the three basically like rapists, they're bank robbers as well, aren't they? But they rape her at the beginning. That
and
set
scar
up,
her up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're like cartoonish, you know, they're almost like the Three Stooges, you know. So you got that going on.
Same in Hanny Calder. Yeah, they're like Three Stooges, those guys.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant. Yeah. And then in that film. But then Gene Hackman's character in Hanny Calder is quite subtly kind of vague in his like lack of empathy to her, you know. So it's interesting, like you said, there's this correlation between the two plots with that and Unforgiven, you know, and Gene Hackman's in both of them as well. So, yeah,
but and of course, Hanny Calder would be as if the prostitute in Unforgiven went out for revenge herself, right? So yeah. And of course, she wasn't a prostitute, so I guess. But that's just famous for the movie poster of Raquel Welch posing naked in a serape, and that was it. You know, sort of a very, very eye-catching, arresting image there. But she's good in the film. She sometimes could just coast on her looks, but she's good in that. She puts some work in for sure. Yeah, no, that's Unforgiven is I do think it's ever so slightly overrated. Everyone for a while was championing it was the best Western ever, and I don't think it's the best Western ever, but I think it's a very good Western. So it's really well done, and it's a good summation on the genre from Eastwood. You know, we always kind of hoped he'd come back and do another Western, but he figured probably why should I after that, you know, so he said all he had to say pretty much at that stage.
Yeah, it's a great film. Yeah,
a great film, and I need to see it again. It's been a while. So, what do we got here? Okay, we don't rent pigs. Hi, Sleepy. How you doing, Damien? Good to see you here. Are you familiar with his channel, Gareth?
No.
Damien's been on. He's been doing mostly comics, but some books for, you know, like I think is it 14 years now, Damien? He's been around for a long time. He has a great channel, a really cool guy from Portland, Oregon. And we got Austin. Hey, Austin. Haven't read Lonesome Dove yet, I guess. Okay.
Yeah,
and I recommend it for sure. Centennial is also a great book and miniseries. Yeah, now that's quite long. I couldn't quite get away with calling that a movie because I think it's like 16 hours or something. But yeah, that is a terrific miniseries, and I need to read some Missioner. I haven't read any Missioner before. Question mark? No, T. Okay, maybe that was starts in Texas, aren't they? They were Texas Rangers. Maybe they were in South Texas, starting from Texas. That makes sense. I thought they might have been in New Mexico, but you're right. I think they're in Texas. Thanks, Mark. Great gunfight in open range, except for the shotgun blast throwing the guy across the alley. Yeah, that's probably overdone, but. I think that gunfight, especially as we see just how badass the Kevin Costner character is with his dark past, is really good. What's this? Deserves ain't got nothing to do with it. Jeff, if you get to Pulp Fest, we gonna talk Westerns. You bet. Yeah, I would love to get to Pulp Fest one of these days. The Valley of Gwangi. Yes, that's a Western. That's a Western. I have it back here somewhere. Yeah, it's set in the West. Cowboys roping dinosaurs in the Lost Valley. That's great. That's very fun.
Film when I was a kid.
That's really fun. Weird Western, yes, for sure. Yes.
I need to watch it again.
It's a weird Western for sure. All right. Well, you know, Unforgiven is a very worthwhile piece to talk about at length, but we should move on here. And this is my next one. Speaking of Bud Bedecker, Randolph Scott, one of the renowned Westerns. This one is my favorite, although I love 7 Men from Now and The Tall T and Comanche Station. This is my favorite. This is Ride Lonesome. Have you seen this one, Gareth?
No, I haven't seen this one.
We got a cat cameo.
Yeah, I know. Hello. Oh, she might be disappearing soon.
What's her name?
We've only just got her, so she's like a month old. She's Cherry Moon. Yeah.
Cherry Moon. That's a good name. Well, Ride Lonesome has, as it says here, Karen Steele, but in very small letters that are undeserving, Pernell Roberts, James Best, and James Coburn. Now, what's nice about this is Pernell Roberts is very good in Bonanza as the cut, but he was obviously not happy about it, and you could tell he's sometimes kind of miserable on the show. But he is wonderful in this, and he has so much charisma, and he kind of plays a principled. He's not a bad guy at all. He's like I guess him and James Coburn as this kind of more dull-witted buddy, but very faithful buddy, kind of are escorting um, Karen Steele's character across dangerous territory, and Lee Van Cleef is the bad guy. He's not in it much, but he's good. He's done something terrible to Randolph Scott in the past, and Scott's out for revenge. Just an amazing movie with some great dialogue, really tight, like 80 minutes. A lot of these Bud Bedecker westerns are just, there's no fat on it at all. It's just all meat on the bone. It's really beautifully, all of these filmed around the Alabama Hills and Lone Pine area in California. Gorgeous to look at. They always have one attractive actress in there. It's usually their small casts, but he's taking James Best, who's a brother of Lee Van Cleef, back to be hanged or whatever. And these guys ride along with him, hoping to get into some of the reward money. James Coburn and Pernell Roberts are really fun in this. It's just a really great film, and highly recommend it. And it's, I believe, number 4 on my list, maybe. Yeah.
Is there a reason why James Coburn's not listed on the poster?
I think this was pretty early, so he wasn't quite the big. This is pre Magnificent 7 Days. I think this is 59.
So it's just like a bit.
He was working, but and he'd done a lot of TV, and he was already, I think, like Steve McQueen, he was already on his way up. But
he's in an episode of the Twilight Zone, the original series.
Yeah. And he's in tons of TV shows back then, including tons of westerns. And he's great in this, although he's probably, he'd probably be at, just above Lee Van Cleef as far as screen time. But he's on the screen a lot, but it's Pernell Roberts runs away with the movie. But of course, Randolph Scott is wonderful in it too. But
just mentioning James Best. James Best is one of the most frequent actors in the original Twilight Zone as well. He's in about 4.
Yeah, he's great. He's in one of the best hour-long ones too. I think the one where the Anne Francis is in love with him, and Jess Bell. Yeah, not many of the hour-long ones are that memorable for me, but that one's really good.
Yeah, that's the weakest part of the whole thing. Yeah,
but. Yeah, we had Sleepy saying Raquel. Yeah, I gotta love Raquel. And Comanche Station. Thanks for reminding me of that. That's great. Yeah, with Claude Akins is the kind of friendly bad guy in that. These Bud Bedecker westerns had a lot of likable bad guys. Richard Boone and the Tall T, despite what the evil things they're doing, you can't help but kind of like him. Ride Lonesome is wonderful. Lee Van Cleef is not likable in that one, but I wonder how many snake encounters happened in the Alabama hills filming all those westerns. That's a good question. I'd love to go to the Lone Pine Film Festival one of these days. All these great film festivals are always set during my working semester time. Gareth, I can never make it over there to catch any of them. The TCM Festival or the Lone Pine Festival, where they show films that were filmed there, and they take you on tours around the Lone Pine area. I'd love to go to that. But yeah, Ride Lonesome, fantastic. I think one of the BFI did a special, they have that series of kind of small books that they do about certain movies, and they did one on Ride Lonesome. I need to get a hold of one of these days, but because it's a movie worth studying. It seems kind of basic, but it's really well done. Okay, I think we're on the remake on your list. Is that right?
Oh, the reshuffle.
No, on the reshuffle list, I believe the remake of a classic John Wayne film. Is that up next?
We can make that the next one.
That's what I have next. Did you want to do a different one? What order do you want?
No, go on. We'll do that as next. I'm going to change them around because it's fine. So yeah, we're talking about True Grit. So the original is really good. There's no doubt about that. But I do prefer this one. So it's a little bit odd because you wonder why they did it, but it is really good. So then you go, okay, well maybe they really did it. They did it because they just thought they could do a good version. But the original is really good. But I'm a huge.
I think the casting in the new one is better overall. I prefer, and I know it's going to make Mark sad, but I prefer Matt Damon to Glenn Campbell, and I vastly prefer what is her name? Dang it,
Haley
Haley
Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld to
Yeah,
Kim
Steinfeld.
Darby, but I've never liked Kim Darby. She's good in True Grit, but she annoys me for some reason. So
Well,
I think
there's something.
Yeah.
There's something quite unusual about the girl in True Grit as a character, and and Haley Steinfeld pulls it off because there's something unusual about her. You know, the way she does it. Whereas because Kim Darby does it just as just your average girl,
she just does it as Kim Darby, kind of. Yeah.
So I think that's why it's not quite as effective, and you know, Jeff Bridges is one of my favorite actors. So you know,
yeah, Jeff Bridges is, and that takes some cojones to try to, you know, replicate the character that Wayne did twice. You know, but he does a great version, a very grumpy Jeff Bridges version. Yeah, no, I like the remake very much, and the Coen brothers are good for that. They always got some weird elements to and run-ins and encounters with creep. They make the West seem even creepier than it was in the original one, for sure. I do like the look of the original. It's got that kind of autumnal, I think it's Wyoming setting or something. It's got kind of an unusual landscape setting, which sets it apart. But yeah, no, that's a very good choice. Very good film.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of people who might debate which one's best. I think most people who would like one of them likes both of them. Do you know what I mean? I think they both have merits. They both use a lot of the Charles Portis novel, which I haven't read, but I've heard nothing but great things about. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's the novel that made me think, yeah, I'll keep reading Westerns. You know, when I read that, I was like, wow, this is incredible. But the next one on my list is also a novel.
Hey, Rob. Yeah, I need to read the Portis novel. I've heard it's very picaresque writing style, and I think the dialogue in both movies captures it pretty well. But Jeff Bridges really makes a meal out of that dialogue, and he's really good. He's not. You could say that maybe Wayne is playing too over the top, and that's probably true. He's a very fun character, but I think Bridges is more believable as that character, I think.
Yeah.
He in his badassitude is also very believable too. Now, there's never any doubt that he's good at his job. Let's just say that. But but of course, this character likes to shoot those bad guys with any little chance that he has. So
yeah. But there's something about that portrayal where it looks like he's done it for many years as well. Do you know what I mean? This is a man at the end of his time, if you like, as well, which I think is done really well.
I think that's an interesting point, Mark. Recency bias wore off. The old one wins out. Yeah, I think, you know, you could say, okay, I like this part of. For me, it's like I like X, Y, and Z about the remake better, but I like A, B, C about the old one better than the remake. So they're kind of. I like them both.
I don't know that people necessarily get recency bias, because a lot of people, they have to be really sold on a remake because they got so much affection for the original. So I don't know if
it's probably is as strong. It's probably two streams, because there's people who've never seen the original and they wouldn't want to probably, and they're happy with the new one. And then there's those like Mark and I who watch, and yourself probably, who watched the original and might compare the new one to the original. But I think as remakes go, this one's very successful. This one and 310 to Yuma are both very well done, and they're different enough. Especially 310 to Yuma is quite different than the original. This one is pretty. They're both pretty true, although this one focuses more on the bittersweet elements at the end of the book than the original does. I like the ending of this one very well too, where they show her as the older version trying to meet up with him. Yeah, that was really good. What is this here? We got here we go. He flubbed the one line you have to get right. If Bond says James Bond wrong, it sours the whole movie. I mean, fill your hands, you son of a bitch. Is that what you're mentioning to Mark? Referring to Mark? I don't remember.
I don't think you can judge an entire performance on one line.
That is an iconic line, and Wayne really sells it. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I think, I think he didn't give it the emphasis, but I think that was deliberate. I don't think he wanted to go toe to toe with Wayne on that one line. I think he probably figured, I'll leave that to the old guy and I'll do my other things. But his performance is very memorable. And that scene, the shootout scene, is really good too. I think they film it at, is it filmed at night? I'm trying to remember if it's it's different in some ways.
No,
There's
it's in the day. It's in the daytime.
I guess there's an earlier shootout at night that I'm thinking of. Nobody beats John Wayne's "Fill Your Hands." That's right, no one does. My wife is, strangely enough, I got my wife to really like. She, just by watching, she has a real fondness for Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, and especially Lee Van Cleef. She loves Lee Van Cleef. I don't know why. There's something about him. We saw Barcaro, one of his spaghetti westerns, and she just, yeah. Well, I think, you can't say he's handsome exactly, but it's not handsome. She likes, she likes guys that have character, I think. So, and all those guys have a lot of character in their face. You can look at Lee Van Cleef and go, there's a face that's done stuff,
I think he's also got a lot of screen presence.
Well, that's it. He's got tons of charisma, and
your eyes go to him,
Yeah, exactly. Here, what else we got? Yeah, okay. So I think we're caught up on comments. So you all right there, Gareth? You doing okay? We got
all good. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. That's a great choice. And since True Grit is not one of my favorites of John Wayne's, I'm glad you mentioned the remake too. So I think the remake is really good. Although I do like True Grit, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I like a lot of Wayne, pretty much most of John Wayne movies, not all. But my next one, let's see, we're getting close. We're getting up to the last three, I think. Yeah. And for me, this one's a tough one because this one is number one in a lot of ways, but there's a couple that just edge it out. I love this movie. On my old blog, I wax poetic about it. This is The Big Country.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen this one?
Yeah. It's good.
Not a fan?
No,
okay.
I liked it. No, I do like it. Yeah.
No, and this, speaking of wonderful scores, this has a fantastic Jerome Moross score. And it's such an unusual movie in a lot of ways for a Western, because the hero is a pacifist who also is very capable, but everyone keeps trying to push him to prove himself out here in the West. And he does as the movie goes on, but he does it in his own way. And how I really like how, he's set up to be, he's a sea captain who comes out West to marry Carol Baker. Why he ever fell for that spoiled little, so-and-so, I don't know. She quickly shows the kind of character she is, but this guy Gregory Peck is awesome. Charlton Heston is fantastic. But Burl Ives gives a towering performance in this. He's so good in this so there's two rival families fighting over the Big Muddy, this river, and kind of Gregory Peck's character, McKay, I think it's McKay, is pulled into kind of in the middle, and he's trying to keep peace. Charles, I guess he's Charles. Chuck Connors is a real weaselly bad guy in it, and it's just got a fantastic cast. Gene Simmons, and
I'm a big fan of Gene Simmons.
She's wonderful in this. Yeah, she's really good as the school teacher friend of his intended, and they have gradually get feelings for each other, because you could just tell right away she's the woman for him. And also Charles Bickford, who doesn't get he's there on the poster, but he doesn't get a credit in the list there. But as the Henry Terrell, the colonel in charge of the fiance of Gregory Peck's characters, the ranch. And anyway, everyone just does really good work in this, and it's sprawling, massive, epic Western. It's about as good as you can get, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's respected, but I think it doesn't get the kind of love that it deserves, in my opinion. So,
and it has got really memorable score that gets mimicked a lot, and not often when you have like a symphonic performance of classic Western themes, The Big Country is always included.
It should be. It's one of the best themes ever, for sure. Burl Ives, the snowman, can play such a good bad guy. Yeah, he's not. In fact, he's not even a bad guy in The Big Country. He's he is actually very principled in a lot of ways. He's the rough kind of mountain clan guy, paterfamilias or whatever. But yeah, that's it got a memorable climax for sure. Love that movie. Could sing its praises for hours and hours, but I won't. So let's go to your next one, Gareth.
Okay, so the next one is the one that's got shuffled around a lot. 1953.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Is
One and be in my top 5 as well. Fabulous film, and that is, take it away, Gareth.
Shane.
Come back, Shane.
Can I also say just an absolutely phenomenal book that it's based on by Jack Schaefer.
I have to read the book. I haven't read the Schaefer book. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, thanks to June on the Range, I've read 3 Jack Schaefer books, and I just think he's a brilliant writer.
I did see where you were talking about other ones you've read. So I need to seek this guy's stuff out. Do you think the movie is pretty true to the book? Is the book quite different?
Yeah, no, it's pretty close to the beats of the story, and I think it really does depict the relationships in it, because it's a film about relationships. It's a film about a kind of a father figure, and the kind of like the need for a hero, or the gap that a hero fills in a child's life and all that. So yeah, I think it's a very special film. I think a special book, you know.
Oh, I think this film is absolutely gorgeous. If you've seen the high def remaster of it, it took a lot of money to remaster, and it took a long time.
I haven't actually seen it for a while. I need to see it.
Oh, again. If you can track that, it looks so beautiful, so beautiful. It's such a good looking film. MKV talked about this book and movie a lot. Yeah, great book. Yeah, it is. I have to get to the book. Yeah. Well, and you know what's funny, Gareth? I don't know if you've seen it. It's probably a little scene, but I picked up a couple of years ago the DVD release of the TV series version with David Carradine as Shane, and it's surprisingly good. Yeah, it's really good. They find a way to make. They replace Jean Arthur. They make Mrs. Starrett. They make her a widow, and they cast Jill Ireland as the widow, much younger, and he kind of develops with the Riker character. He kind of develops a frenemy sort of. But they really carry it off, and David Carradine is really good. He's not, in the Kwai Chek King's, gentle way, but he's fairly gentle performance but he brings the badass when he needs to. It's a surprisingly good show. It only ran for 17 episodes, but
I didn't know
it's worth checking out. It's worth checking out. It can't hold a candle to the movie, of course, but they adapted intelligently for TV, I think. And it's got some really good casting. Warren Oates pops up in an episode, and you get a lot of good casts on there. Let's see, Jeff, did you like Barbara Stanwyck's 40 Rifles? 40 Rifles I haven't seen, Mark. I haven't seen. I've seen Johnny Guitar, which is weird as hell, but 40 Guns. Sorry, yeah, 40 Guns. I think it's I don't know who the male actor is that's cast against her in that. Have you seen 40 Guns?
No.
Barbara Stanwyck's like a ranch owner in that one. From what I know, I haven't seen it. I know it's got a Blu-ray release somewhere, but yeah, some female-led westerns are interesting too. There's a couple others that are escaping me at the moment, but yeah, Shane is a beautiful movie, beautifully well played. I'm glad to have several good westerns with Alan Ladd, but that's far and away his best one, and he's really good in that movie. And so is Van Heflin, who's a fantastic character actor, really, and he does a great job as the dad, who's brave in his own way, and
yeah.
And of course, Jack Palance.
Yeah, the big villain. Yeah,
I've heard about you. Yeah, what have you heard, Shane? You're a no good Yankee liar, or whatever. That great shootout. Yeah, that's a really good movie. Oh, I love that movie. I can watch it anytime. I love to walk around the house and irritate my wife, going, Shane, are you stupid, Shane? There's all sorts of saying ridiculous stuff because it's easy to tease that kid, but he's lovable and he does a good job. He had a tragic life, unfortunately. He grew up in after this morning. Well, he died in a car accident pretty young, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
It's yeah. Sometimes learning what happens to some of the stars that you, especially young starlets, sometimes is pretty heartbreaking. You know, Gail Russell from Angel and a Bad Man. She was an alcoholic and drank herself to death at age 36. You know, it's just really terrible. John Wayne tried to help her out. He gave her a role in 7 Men from Now, you know, and towards the end of her career. And so, yeah, it's sometimes you don't need to want to learn too much. Winchester 73, supposed to be about chasing after a rifle, something like that. Yeah, that's a lot of people list that as their favorite of the Anthony Mann Stewart westerns, but it's my least favorite of those. But it's good. It's a good movie for sure. All right, well, let's see. We've been going on for over 2 hours, Gareth, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. So let's get to your let's get to my, I guess.
Yeah,
mine, right? My number 3. No, my number 2. I think we're off somehow. I don't know where I'm at now.
We haven't missed anything out, have we?
I might have missed one of yours because I think I'm up to my last 2. So why don't we do another 4. One of yours to catch you up?
5, 6.
Yeah, let's do. I think somehow. No. I think we only have 2 of yours. So I think we're right.
Yeah, we've got 2 more of mine there.
Yeah, and 2 more of mine. So, okay, so somehow we got the order off, but that's okay. I'll go with my
I don't know how we did that.
My number 2. We already kind of talked about a bit. And this is I think Quentin Tarantino would agree with me. This is the ultimate hangout movie, and this is Rio Bravo.
Oh.
Now, I love El Dorado, but for me, Rio Bravo, and I don't know what they did with John Wayne's nose there. That doesn't look quite right. But Rio Bravo wins out. I think I like, they're almost exactly equal for me. I think El Dorado has better action, and but I think Walter Brennan does a better job as the Coot character than Arthur Honeycutt. I like him too in El Dorado as what is his character? He has the horn. It's like Buffalo something, or I've forgotten his character name, but he's really good and funny in his own way. But I like, I just love the cast of this. Angie Dickinson has a much more, the female character has a much more central role in this one than in El Dorado. El Dorado is more about the guys strictly. This one I think has some really beautiful. It has that wonderful opening, silent opening where John Wayne comes in, sees Duke, I think his character's Duke, right? The Dean Martin character fishing for money out of the spittoon, and he kicks it out of his hand and looks at him disgustedly, and what happens after that. So I really love this movie. I think it's probably overlong and a little baggy, and the concluding action scene probably is a little more it's maybe a little lighthearted than some people like in their westerns, but I think it's hard to argue that this is a really fun way to spend 2.5 hours or so. So what are your thoughts on Rio Bravo and compared to El Dorado?
It was in my
runners up
10 list last year, so it's so I do really like the film. I just chose El Dorado over it this year, but it's a great film. So yeah, totally agree. I think you might have gone. I think you've muted yourself.
Yeah, I did, because my son just walked into the room. So I'm going to put you, on the main, as the main, not me. I don't want me to be the main. Here, let's do this here. Maybe this will do the job. Hold on, Kenji. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Chotomate. I'll be with you in a second. Okay. Hold on, buddy. And then I will get your next one up, Gareth. Okay. Sorry, you probably don't like being so big at the moment, but
it's all right.
I need to load up your next and let you talk about it a little bit. Sorry, why I tend to my son here, but and then I'll be right back. He's been pretty good for a couple hours, not bothering me. So come on, where we got?
You gotta be a dad. If you gotta be a dad, you gotta be a dad.
Yeah, being a dad takes priority, you know. So I think once this comes up that you'll be able to share the screen. Well, I guess, okay. So I'll just shut my camera off for a second and you take it and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. No worries at all. So this is from 1957. It's really famous. People might think it's a bit obvious. He hasn't turned his mic off. He's all right. So yeah, apologies if it's a bit obvious, but this was one of those formative ones for me as well. I'm a huge Kirk Douglas fan. I really like Burt Lancaster as well, and he does this really well. It's obviously about oh my god, what are the characters' names? How can I forget the characters' names? Doc Holliday, and played by Kirk Douglas, and Burt Lancaster plays. Oh my god, Doc Holliday and that's great, isn't it? So anyway, you get the point. It's a very famous plot. Tombstone does it in a way that's slightly more modern, I guess. But I don't know. This film represents Sunday afternoons for me as a kid, watching with my stepdad, basically. But I am a big fan of Kirk Douglas, and I really love the film. So, it's directed by John Sturges, who's going to appear again in a minute. Yeah, I really like the film. I think I think there's a chemistry between Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas that works really well in the film. So I think that's part of it. Here you go, buddy. And they are cast perfectly as well, I think, for them playing their respective roles. Wyatt Earp. Burt Lancaster's playing Wyatt Earp. I'm so glad I remember that before Jeff came back. Yeah. So
what's going on?
I couldn't think of Wyatt Earp's name, which is ridiculous.
Oh, I do that all the time, man. I definitely know where you're coming from.
I'll blame on the heat and the fact it's 1:15 in the morning. I'll blame those things.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep you up so late.
No, not at all. But I was just saying, I think they're perfectly cast. I think there's a chemistry between them. But also for me, I think this is about my formative years of watching westerns when I was a kid as well. So this was shown a lot over here. That film was shown so many times. So I've actually seen it, I don't know, probably about a dozen times. So that's also why it pops in my head when I think about my favorite westerns, because I saw it so many times. So yeah, really love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I have it. It looks amazing. I haven't shown some films for a while here. I have the double disc of True Grit that has both the original and let's see, and then Shane, of course. Yeah. And Gunfight at OK Corral, which is a VistaVision film, and so it looks just absolutely stunning. So if anyone doesn't know what a VistaVision is, it's a film process where the film went sideways through the camera. So they had much greater pixels basically to deal with, and so it's like 4 times as many or something like that. So White Christmas was another one that was VistaVision, and those films really adapt to high def very well. So it's a gorgeous looking film. Rhonda Fleming, gorgeous looking lady, is in it. But the one who's really impressive is what is her name? The one who plays the woman with Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Jo Van Fleet. Jo Van Fleet. She's a really good actress. She does a really good job in this.
And there's a lot of banter between them that works really well with the film. Their scenes are really strong. Yeah. That's
and Burt Lancaster's in his kind of staid mode. He's like he is in Lawman. She's not showing much emotion or anything, but he's getting the job done. Yeah. And I don't think this is the first film they did together, but him and Kurt Douglas ended up doing about 7 movies together. They really gelled well on screen. If you ever saw the 80s Tough Guys, where they're the 2 criminals that come out, and it's a silly movie, but they're so good in it. So much easy rapport. Yeah. From all those years of working together. Yeah. That's a great choice. And, some people, probably modern younger audiences, would go, "Oh God, when is this guy going to stop singing?" But I love the OK Corral.
No, I love that.
It's just so good, right?
Yeah. Song. Yeah, no, I love it.
We had someone mention Gary Cooper's Garden of Evil, and that's a terrific movie too, with Richard Widmark.
Richard Widmark's in loads of westerns, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good actor. I love Richard Widmark.
Yeah.
Garden of Evil is a great flick. Widmark and Susan Hayward. That's right. Yeah, that Twilight Time released that. I don't have that on Blu-ray, unfortunately, because it sold out before I could get it. But I do have a HD rip off of NHK, and it looks really good. That's a very good movie. Angie Ooh La La, Face Red, Smiling Live. Angie Dickinson, I'm guessing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure that's
Rob's helping you out, Wyatt Earp there, and hey, Rob,
Yeah. I was like,
Constance
how would I
says,
not think of his name? Yeah.
Burton Kirk can't go wrong. Don't worry, Gareth. We all do that. I've done it so many times. It's not even funny. Probably done it several times in this live. Let's see if there's anything that I hadn't shown off. Oh yeah, I hadn't shown off my Randolph Scott 12 film collection, which it was very reasonable and has a lot of his older, less famous movies, as well as The Tall T and Ride Lonesome and Comanche Station and all that. So not 7 Men from Now, unfortunately, with Lee Marvin. There's another guy we haven't mentioned yet who deserves
Lee Marvin.
He's wonderful. But he is coming up soon in my top. So
oh wow.
Which again is maybe similar to Bite the Bullet, and then it might be past the era of the classic Western time frame. But okay, let's see. I think I guess since we somehow got the order flip-flopped around, I'll go first and we'll end with you, Gareth. How's that sound? So
okay.
Speaking of Lee Marvin, okay, this is my favorite film, not only a favorite Western, it's my favorite film of all time.
Wow. Okay.
Probably. As far as just how much I love to watch it. What is going on? I can't get this stupid thing going for some reason. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get it because I know it's there. This is all over the place. What is going on with you? My computer's acting up. Sorry. And you probably have seen this one. I'm thinking, Gareth. I don't see how you couldn't have seen it because it's just been used so much. Let's see if I can.
I've seen a lot of Lee Marvin films.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Like so many people who mentioned Lee Marvin was also in an original Twilight Zone episode.
He's in more than one, isn't he? I know he's in The Grave. Is that the only one? I love that episode, by the way. The Grave. Yeah,
it's the only one he's in. Yeah.
That one is fantastic. What a good, and that's got so many great character actors from Westerns in that particular episode. Okay, here we go. Maybe I can get there now. Here we go. Good. I got it. All right. Sorry about the tech difficulties, ladies. It's not Man from Liberty, Who Shot Liberty Valance. I'm not really a big fan of that one. It's although it's good, but it's The Professionals.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Love this movie. So it's more of an adventure film, but they're on horses wearing cowboy hats. But it's set at 1914, 15, something like that.
I think everyone considers it a Western. So
yeah. And another Richard Brooks Western like Bite the Bullet. It's got a fantastic script full of endlessly quotable dialogue. And I say this movie, I think there's some book that was about macho men movies or something. And someone said that, hair will grow on your chest just from watching this movie or whatever. It's so manly. And of course we got Claudia Cardinale again, who's a whole lot of woman and a very fiery, strong character in this. Jack Palance. And we got Ralph Bellamy as the guy who hires them to get his young bride back. And it's the kind of an impossible mission film with Lee Marvin as the tactical leader and Burt Lancaster as the kind of amoral devil may care,
more of a maverick kind of character.
Yeah, dynamiter. And we got Robert Ryan, who usually steals every movie he's in, and he's almost acted off the screen in this one, which is saying something. But he's very good also as the bronc buster, the horse expert. And then we got the great Woody Strode, who should have been on. Had his name on the credits there as a kind of scout and expert with an bow and arrow, etc. And
he's also in Once Upon a Time in the West as well, isn't he?
He is. He's in Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, of course, and he's in Sergeant Rutledge, and he's in a lot of John Ford movies, and he's great. Former professional athlete. He's really good in this. I love it. There's a wonderful scene at the start where Ralph Bellamy is explaining the things to him, and he looks at Lee Marvin's character and says, after he introduces Woody Strode's character, and says, any objections to working with the Negro? And Lee Marvin just rolls his eyes and just ignores the question. It's awesome. Because they treat him pretty much equal all the way through. It's great. So anyway, I could go on and on about this movie. It's got a kind of twisty quixotic sort of plot. The ending is kind of like, really, you're gonna do that? But okay, but it's beautiful in its own way, and it has the best closing line for my money and maybe film history, where Ralph Bellamy says, "You bastard," and then Lee Marvin says, "Yes, sir. In my case, an accident of birth. You, sir, are a self-made man." So he delivers it far, 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 far better than I. But anyway, that is such a great movie. Yeah, I love, love, love this movie. And we have something going on in the chat here. Let me see. Let me get rid of this one. Mark is saying no, so maybe I chose a movie he doesn't like. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
Did you get a message that you couldn't put up because there's like some sort of dodgy people on there? Oh no, you didn't. Okay, it's cool.
I think I've got everyone here. So Burton Kirk, Can't Go Wrong. I think I hit that one. Oh, okay. Here, Liberty Valance. No. Let's go. And the best Western TV episode is when Captain Kirk and some of the crew became cowboys. Erico he likes to come in and drop a little funny bomb in there. But that was a good episode of Star Trek for sure. This video is a great resource. I need to watch more Westerns. Yeah, I know not a lot of people, it's not their favorite genre, but there's so many good movies in that genre. Goatman, I tried watching the start of The Man from Colorado, but only got 10 minutes in. Seems like a film with a lot of mounting dread as the retired captain who's a crazed murderer gets the job of local judge. The Man from Colorado, I think, is that a Glenn Ford movie, Goatman? I think I have a DVD of that. I haven't watched it though.
Yeah,
now, Mark, why are you saying no? Do you not like The Professionals? We can't be friends if you don't like The Professionals. Joking. Have you guys talked about Cat Ballou? No. Or Paint Your Wagon. We haven't talked about that one either. Yeah. Rob, of course, appreciating the finer things in life, like Claudia Cardinale.
Like Cat Ballou, though. I do like Cat Ballou.
I like Cat Ballou, and Paint Your Wagon isn't half bad either. It was a relative of mine. It was one of his favorite movies, and he showed it to me, and I was like, what? Clint Eastwood trying to sing? Lee Marvin singing? What? Yeah. That apparently has a really beautiful Blu-ray release that came out a couple of years ago, which I need to get a hold of, but I don't think Cat Ballou has, though. That is my number one, The Professionals. Let's get to your number one, Gareth, so we can let me get it queued up. Dang it. I'm doing it again. Dang it. I keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry about that, folks.
I can't believe,
okay.
Hold on.
Can't believe what? Sorry?
What temperature is it in Portsmouth?
At the moment, in Portsmouth, England, it's 19 degrees Celsius.
19, it's like... Today, yeah, right. Thanks. Forget it. So I want to
know. 19 is nice.
No, it's not. Not at 25. No, 1:30 in the morning. It should be a lot cooler than that. This is ridiculous.
That's a good nighttime temperature that we've been having recently. Usually it's 28 in 28. June, July, and August here at night.
Yeah, I like it being hot in the day, but now
yeah. I'm sorry that you're sweating in the sweat box there. I wish you had some air conditioning. I'd like to send you some if I could.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. And my dog is just like,
I bet, panting away. Sorry, did I preempt you? Sorry about that.
No, not at all. 1960.
This is in my top 5 too.
I can't tell you how much I love this film. It's obviously. It may be a bit predictable. You know, it's probably one of the most shown films on TV. Every Christmas you'd get it shown over here.
If it popped on, and I'm in the middle. It's in the middle. I don't care. I'll watch the whole thing all the way through.
Yeah. It just pulls you in. I love the original. I love Seven Samurai anyway. But there's something about
this is it for me.
The casting of these 7 cowboys and the way that it builds up with them joining up, and they managed to get, for me, I think they managed to get the characters to fit the actors in such a nice way where it just fits. Everything fits perfectly. And, you really are willing them on, even if you've seen it hundreds of times, you still want them to sort of survive. And obviously they don't. Spoilers.
Well, the usual, just like in the original, 4 don't. Some make it. Yeah. Some always make it. It's always 4 die and 3 live. There's 3 vastly inferior sequels to this movie, and they're all fun to a certain extent, but they are vastly inferior to this one.
Yeah. There's an absolute magic to this, and
Great
Yeah,
music,
oh, incredible
great
music.
cinematography, great direction by again John Sturges, the guy who made
Yeah,
so many great movies.
yeah. Just and it's a great choice getting Yul Brynner to lead it. That was
Oh,
just a
he's
fantastic
yeah. I was
choice.
looking at a 4 minute like extended preview of our like a trailer of a lot of scenes of Seven Samurai last night, and watching is
And the
it
guy keeps doing this.
Takeshi Shimura who plays the leader in that, and I'm
Yeah,
watching him how still he is, and I'm going, Yul Brynner was such an inspired casting choice for that.
yeah,
He's so good, and Steve McQueen, they were all these young bucks out for Yul Brynner's blood as far as screen time. They're all trying. Steve McQueen's doing all
well,
this business
yeah,
with his
yeah, yeah,
hat and shaking
yeah,
shells
yeah.
to try to take them.
It was him in particular, wasn't it? Because I've
Yeah.
actually used that. Once I found that out, I say to my music students, if they're really like trying to steal the audience attention from the singer, I'll go, "You're doing Steve McQueen there." You know, know what you're talking about, and I'll explain what happened. Yeah, I mean,
It's
just
great.
phenomenal.
It's great to watch it. We benefit from it. They all do
Yeah,
their.
but he was doing it because he resented not getting the main part, wasn't he?
Of course, yeah. And he also, they all resented Yul Brynner, although
it's the perfect casting.
Yul Brynner is so charismatic, though. But yeah, they're all, and James Coburn, perfect choice to play the stoic,
I'm a
quiet
huge
guy.
fan of James Coburn. Yeah,
And Horst Coltz, who's this kind of in real life, really kind of nervous German or Austrian guy. I think he's German, playing the Mexican kid. He does a really good job in this movie, though.
Yeah, there's
really
a great
good. And Robert Vaughn.
Nervous energy. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's a wonderful movie with such a great script. And Eli Wallach, who apparently did you know this story? I'm sure you've heard the story where they hired a bunch of real kind of almost borderline criminal guys to play the gang. And they were like, we can't have you not knowing how to ride a horse if you're going to be our leader. So they took him under their wing, and he went riding with them every morning for weeks on end. So he got really good at it, and he got the vibe, and so he really got into it, and he became a good horseman because of those guys helping him out. So
yeah,
so many stories in the making of that movie, so many people that are just, yeah. Oh, here he goes. He says, I like it, but it ain't Liberty Valance. Yeah. I don't like, I'm sorry. I don't like Liberty Valance very much. It's a good movie, but it's way overrated, I think. Sorry, Mark. We'll have to disagree on that one. But it is a good movie. There's no doubt, Liberty Valance. But I don't know. I think it's overrated in Ford canon. What's your favorite Audie Murphy? Yes, I tried to have Audie Murphy shown back here because I love Audie Murphy. He's one of my favorite cowboy actors. I really like his remake of Destry. He does a really good job in that role. There's what is it? He's got a couple of really fantastic ones, and one of his best performances is in. It's not the best of the Anthony Mann westerns. It's that Jimmy Stewart made. It's one that Anthony Mann didn't direct. Actually, he left because he didn't want to be part of it. But it's what is that one? Dang it, I can't remember the title right now. With it's got a very weirdly bad Dan Durea performance. Dan Durea is usually awesome. Do you know him, Dan Durea? Yeah. He usually plays a gangster or something, but he plays a really off-note bad guy. But Audie Murphy plays the kind of outlaw brother of Jimmy Stewart. Wish I could remember the name. Come on, Mark, help me out.
Yeah, I don't know this one, I think.
So many good Audie Murphy westerns. I probably didn't make any classic types, but I'll watch any Audie Murphy western. He's great, and he's something about him, and the fact that he's a real life hero and he's a real life crack shot. He was very traumatized by his experience in the war, and very unhappy man and later in life, I think, but his relatively short life. But hold on here. We got Westworld. Yeah, Yul Brynner really riffs well on his character in Westworld. Westworld's great.
Absolutely,
great sci-fi western. Yeah, it's really good.
I was gonna, for Dune on the Range, I had in my head it would be nice to start rewatching the series Westworld. But then
did you like the series? I wasn't crazy about the series, but it was interesting.
I've only seen about 8 episodes, and I enjoyed that. But I think it kind of probably trails off a bit as you watch it.
Unfortunately, a lot of series do that, new and old. Yeah, Red River. Yeah, Red River is got a very
Good music.
nuanced, good music and very nuanced performance by John Wayne as a kind of anti-hero. And The Searchers, we're going to get to our honorable mentions, and The Searchers is definitely in there, and that's one of John Wayne's great performances. My dad loved Audie Murphy and all Western books, TV, movies. Good for him. Everyone always now talks about Westerns as dad and grandpa stuff, but
well, they're very masculine. You know, there's like women are bit
we're gonna
parts
have
and
to fight.
men are just like, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of testosterone on screen, and men are being men, and you know, there's, like you said, when we had that character look full of doubt, it was like, whoa, what's going on here? You know, because there's usually very confident men doing confident and manly things. So I do think there is some truth in that. You know, the Western is full of that.
I'm sorry, Gareth.
Right.
Kenshan, go by yourself. My son's demanding my attention again. I'm sorry. So go ahead and wax poetic. I'll be right back.
Well, we're at the end of the show, but I do think that's a character anyway with the Western genre, that it does that would why it does. They don't get made as much now, and when they do, they've usually got a different take on it, or there's slightly some, you know, you don't get old traditional Westerns made now because it would seem out of date for some people. I think certainly the younger generation would see it as a bit out of date. So yeah, I can't remember what the comment was I'm bouncing off, but
sorry, Gareth, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Sounds like you need to.
No, it's fine. He just, he you know, he still is in a phase where he needs me to hit my help, supposedly, even though he can do it himself. I just wanted to, bring up that Mark mentioned the Audie Murphy movie, Ride Clear of Diablo. That was the one I was trying to remember. That one, and Duel at Silver Creek, and there's a bunch of really good Audie Murphy ones. What were you saying? Did I miss something profound that you were talking about?
Well,
with
no,
Western?
I was just saying that because I started saying this before, like just before you left, that I do think that there is an undeniable masculinity, like all over the screen on the Westerns.
There is true. That is true, and that's going to turn off a lot of women, of course. Although there are some really good roles for women characters, female characters in many Westerns, many classic Westerns. You know,
but so
Big
often
Country.
there's one role and then there's five.
Yeah, it's 1 to 2 usually. Yeah, that's very true. And there's a lot of ugly, sweaty men quite often too. So, you know, No Name on a Bullet. That's another great one, Mark. That's right. Yeah, well, let's talk as we end up here and wind up here. Let's talk about some of our honorable mentions. Do you have? I have.
I've got one.
Range.
Open Range. I've got one that I wrote down. I wanted to mention that.
Yes.
I've just. I think it's tomorrow. It's going to appear on TV. So I've got it set to record. I'm going to watch it again. I can't wait to watch it again. Which is Robert Rodriguez's big breakout film, Desperado.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the original one, right?
I think that's a really good film. Yeah.
Or El Mariachi or Desperado?
Well, that's a good point. El Mariachi was the first one he did, and then he kind of remade it again, really, as Desperado, didn't he? So yeah, made kind of Antonio Banderas really famous, and made Sam Hayek famous as well. But yeah, I think that's a great film.
That is really, really fun action movie for, you know, cheap. Even that remake was produced cheaply and got a lot of bang out for the buck. I think I missed one from my list. That's why our counting got off. I missed one of my top, and I got to mention it before we get off.
It would have been a strange mystery, wouldn't it? We were like, how the hell did that even happen? But
I didn't get the poster for it. That's what threw me off. Did I have 10? I guess I had 10. Anyway, I'll just show the DVD. That's the Blu-ray. That's fine. It's this is in my top 5 though, and that's Hombre with Paul Newman.
Oh, cool.
It's a very, very good movie. It's downbeat, but it's really well made. It's got Diane Cilento as the female lead, although it's also got Barbara Rush and Margaret Bly from The Italian Job is in it in a smaller part. It's got Richard Boone as a bad guy. It's got Martin Balsam, fantastic cast. Paul Newman was on a run. He made HUD and Harper, and then he made Hombre, and that was in the year I was born, 1967. And he plays a grown-up man who was a white boy that was taken captive by the Apache and was raised by them, and so is very he's so good in this movie, and he's such a unpredictable, ruthless guy. You know, when it comes to the bad guys, he's just so practical. It's wonderful the way he plays it, and it's got a great script and very thoughtful things to say about, you know, the plight of the Native American at that stage, and how Frederick March is this guy who was an Indian agent, and he ran off with a bunch of funds for that were supposed to be for the Apache, and you know, just a wonderful movie. Anyway, did we get to the one that you were meaning to talk about? Did you?
Oh, that was Desperado.
Desperado,
yeah.
Right. Okay. We mentioned that we talked about The Searchers. Sorry, I got some glare in there, unfortunately. Okay, and I think people mentioned several of these. So Silverado, of course, right? Great. This is one that's become a real firm favorite now. This is The Tall Men. Speaking of Robert Ryan, Clark Gable, Cameron Mitchell, and Jane Russell. Jane Russell, great character in this, and she's a real tough woman. And Clark Gable, it's funny, I like a lot of these classic movie stars, elder statesman movies, Gary Cooper's movies late in his career, William Holden, Clark Gable. They have a kind of gravitas that wasn't the same when they were younger, and they bring some really good energy to the part. Their parts, High Plains Drifter, of course, and Tombstone. I've got tons of others, but you know, you have any others you want to throw in the ring that we didn't get to or didn't mention?
I think we've mentioned all the ones I can think of, really, to be fair.
Yeah. Glad no one has mentioned Blazing Saddles. Oh crap, I just did. Yeah. Blazing Saddles is funny, but like Cat Ballou, it's a fun comic piss take on the Western. I love the campfire scene where you always wonder what's going on with all the beans those cowboys are eating.
There's tell you what, there's a film that I'd love if they showed it again, and all I remember it is from when I was a kid, and it's like a Western cartoon with Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lightning Jack.
The villain.
I think it's got different titles. I think over here it's called Lightning Jack, I think.
Or Smiling Jack or something like that. Lightning Jack. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And
with Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it, and
when I was a kid, I really liked it, but I'm sure
I did too. I don't know if I'd like it now, but I remember.
I think it's a bit like Roadrunner. I think it's a bit like that, but obviously it's a Western.
Yeah, I think they were going for that kind of Tex Avery sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'd love to see that. Kirk Douglas is good at humor, so who knows? Maybe he pulls it off. I don't know. That's
one of the early roles for
Anne Margaret.
For Schwarzenegger. Anne Margaret, who is I'm never gonna say no when Anne Margaret's on screen. That's for sure. There was another Wayne Western that it's not got a great plot, I guess, but I just really like it, and I can never stop. I always like to watch it. It's like a comfort Western. I had it up here somewhere. The Undefeated, the John Wayne and Rock Hudson. It's got a great cast. It's just a lot of fun. Rock Hudson and John Wayne have a ton of have really good chemistry. Yeah. No, I mentioned Ben Johnson. I mentioned Ben Johnson in The Wild Bunch, but Ben Johnson he gets a kind of he steals the movie a bit in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. He's got a really good role there. And then he's in a movie called Wagon Master by John Ford, which is fantastic. And there's one we should mention. I don't know if you've seen this one. Warner Archive just put out a Blu-ray of it. I don't have the Blu-ray. I do have the DVD, and that's called Westward the Women. Have you seen that one, Gareth?
No, I haven't seen that one.
It's a Robert Taylor Western, but it's got it's a mostly female cast. It's basically a guy is there's a frontier town in California, and they don't have any women there, and they send off for mail order brides, and they need someone to lead these women across that is a tried and true kind of wagon master. And that's this Robert Taylor in a really tough performance. And he comes to really respect these women, as they go on, and all the travails they run into. And it's a really fantastic and tough, hard-nosed Western. I really recommend it. I think William Wellman directed it. So Westward the Women, guys, if anyone's not seen that one, I definitely need to need to recommend that. Well, I've kept you up for a long time, and you probably need to visit the facilities and get cool somehow and all that stuff, Gareth. So I want to thank you for
remove my clothes again.
yeah. I want you to get somewhat more comfortable anyway. But I really appreciate you staying up late talking with me about this.
It's
I
been
wanted
great.
to talk about Western movies for June on the Range because that's probably the entry point for a lot of people for reading Westerns, I would think.
No, I appreciate you asking. Absolutely.
Thanks a bunch, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for watching and contributing. And we will catch you in the next one. Take care, Gareth, and have a great rest of the weekend. All right.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
See you guys. Take care, everyone. Got to remember to end the stream and not look too awkward while I'm doing it.